What's up, my little defense attorneys? Welcome back to Apollo Justice. Last time was kind of a filler stream. I apologize for that. That 3 hours of investigation was a lot, and I apologize. I don't know if it's necessarily my fault, or if that's just, like, notoriously just a bad investigation day, or if I'm just a doofus. Or maybe both. Perhaps it is both. But yeah, we're back. We're gonna finish this off and hopefully play some Donkey Kong as well today. That would be great. If we can get this done, we'll only have one more case left to go. My fan is blinding me. Apologies for pausing. It's reflecting sunlight directly at my eyes. Stop. I've never had a metal fan before. I was actually getting blinded. But yes, that's what we're doing today, okay? Alright. Anything else to mention? I don't think so. Oh, one thing that I did do over the weekend is I refurbished the old YouTube channel, not the archive. The archive is fine. I'm perfectly happy with how the archive's going, but my original one, which is where all, like, my subscriptions and stuff, that's the main account I use, that's the one that has YouTube Premium. I reset everything. All the videos are gone. It's been reconstituted. I edited everything, made it all nice and clean. In fact, I even got my own @ on YouTube. I don't remember when they added this, but, like, for your URL, you can make it whatever you want, as long as somebody else doesn't have it. So I tried to get Stimples instantly. Had it. So, fantastic. Wonderful. Yeah, and I don't know. I might do something with that channel at some point. Some edited content, perhaps. Maybe, if I can get around to it. If I'm not too lazy one of these days, maybe something will show up on there. I don't know. If it does, I'll post it on the Discord. And I'll mention it on Blue Sky, probably. But yes, hello, Big Boss. That's enough yapping. Shall we hop right in? I apologize if I'm a little groggy. I woke up at 11 today, like a bad boy. I was supposed to start streaming early, and then I woke up at 11. Let's go. I didn't even intend to. I am ready for bullshit. Yes, please. Hello, Laser. I've got a nice cold LNP. I need the sugar, because I haven't eaten today, either. I've just woken up. I haven't eaten. I haven't showered. I'm ready for a court case. Lisa wants a compliment. Out the gate? Hold on. Hey, Google. Would you mind complimenting my mod Laser and please implement his great hair into the compliment?
Mod Laser, with your flowing locks and infectious energy, you're a true force to be reckoned with. Your music is a captivating blend of styles, and your stage presence is electric. Keep on rocking, Mod Laser, and may your hair always flow as freely as your creativity.
Damn, I don't know if he was talking about our Laser. I don't know you to make music. I don't know you're a musician, but maybe he's talking about the Ace Attorney theories as music. I don't know. Well, there you go. Well, this is it. Today's the day it all goes down. And then there was yesterday. This meeting's over. Sorry. Just 5 more minutes. We can call him back after that. Sorry, no go. Come on, piano boy, we're leaving. Darian, wait! I never liked you, either of you. Yeah, I mean, I've been thinking about this. I think it would have been a cooler twist if Trucy's uncle was the murderer, but now they're really just trying to make it Darian. I think it makes more sense for Trucy's uncle to be the murderer, especially with the magic act that's so tightly, like, woven to the story. But oh well. Darn it, we were so close. He was about to tell us. Hey, Apollo. And I think I know why. Time to bring down a little justice. Wait, oh, what? Huh? What was that? He's heard but unseen. Who's that talking? Oh. Madam Grammarly! You should buy Grammarly! I exclaimed as he walked in through the door, normally.
You aren't the witness today, are you, Uncle Valent?
A preposterous proposition. How could I stand on a stand upon the stand? Why, my secrets would be free for the plucking. I might even have to sign autographs. That's why I intend to remain hidden for the entire day.
Ooh, with vanishing magic?
Indeed. I will jump upon an express train and express myself to the next town over. But before I go, a word of warning.
Warning? What?
A grand Grammary glamour resides at the root of all that has happened. Do not forget this truth. A glamour? A spell, a sorcery, a great illusion. Miss Trucy, though it pains me to part so, I need to get in line for a ticket. Farewell!
And there he goes, the definite not murderer.
He sure seemed happy about that illusion thing.
Oh, big illusions are the bread and butter of a magician. You can't pull off a show without one. The big illusion's always a spectacle to remember. Usually involves the Eiffel Tower or anything, really. What did he say? Usually it involves cutting up things like people or elephants. Okay.
So he was talking about what we saw at the concert?
Lemmy's disappearing act.
Prosecutor Gavin's exploding guitar.
I wonder what he meant by being at the root of all that has happened.
Well, it's about time. Shall we go? Excuse me, sir. Yes? The scheduled starting time for the trial has been changed. The trial will not be commencing until 10:30 a.m. Sorry for the inconvenience. The judge didn't get to eat, did he? He probably slept in like me. This is literally before I woke up. Did something happen? This is a first. It was by the judge's request, some urgent personal business. Yeah. I bet he stayed up too late last night watching courtroom dramas. Yep, just like me, except to replace courtroom dramas with... Wait, did I stay up watching stuff last night? Oh god, my memory's awful, I can't even remember. I just remember going to sleep. No, I think I went to bed as soon as I finished up playing games at like 1. How come I slept so long? This is bullshit. Apparently he's visiting the hospital again. Oh, for incuratus. No, I've never drank it. I've never drank it. I only drink LMPs. I am slurping on purpose, by the way. The hospital? If I ever drink, it'll be for content, it won't be for pleasure. I believe it was mentioned that the Chief Justice's son is unwell. Apparently his condition worsened considerably this morning. The Chief Justice's son.
Oh, that's right. Remember yesterday morning the judge said he had to go visit him after the trial?
There's an article about it in the newspaper. Bailiff, why are you pretending like you're our friend? Go away now. Well, if you care to read about it yourself. You don't even have a character portrait. Get out of here. Go, shoo. Back to the courtroom with you. Incuritis? Where have I heard that before? I don't know. Fucking a joke book?
I'll let you read that article for us. Just leave the TV guide page to me.
Yeah, try not to lose the page with the funnies if you can. These two crazy kids. Wow. 30 minutes has passed.
My apologies for the delay. Children are dying, you know, no big deal or anything. Court is now in session for the trial of how'd you say this name again?
Machi Tabai, a suspect for Tismo.
Ah, right. Like Machi. Right, that's a thing. Yes, I believe so. It's his trial in any case.
The defense is prepared, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready to rock. Is something wrong, Your Honor?
No. Well, yes. It's just I've been friends with the Chief Justice since we were students. It pains me to see him going through such a difficult time.
Incuritis, was it? Hey, don't we have the cure for that inside that colorful egg?
What? What are you yapping about, colorful egg? What?
That article said there's no known cure.
Now, Judge, let me say, with all honesty, I feel your pain. But now is not the time for tears. They had the judge fall asleep during the trial. That should be the next prosecutor. The next prosecutor should just be a sleepy. We did actually have somebody like that in Investigations 1. The flight attendant. Now's the time for law.
Indeed. We left off at quite the juncture yesterday.
Yes. I think we all remember. Romanian lettuce is dead. Why can't I skip through this any faster? Fuck this shit. I don't wanna watch the stupid flashback. Quite a sensational ending. Who would have thought Dyer would guest star on the season cliffhanger as a suspect?
I asked the prosecution to look into this matter. Please tell the court your findings.
Diane Crescent is a member of my band, the Governors. He's also a detective, making the current charges serious indeed. Yet after investigation, I have found no cause to open a case or file new charges. And your reason is? What you're aware, forehead? He has an impeccable alibi.
An alibi?
Let's review the facts again, shall we? The concert being held on the night of the shooting was in 3 sets. The Governors ripped up the stage during the first set. For the second set, our guest took center stage. The only performers appearing were myself, Lammy, and Machi. Why are we prosecuting now? What are you talking about? The shooting in the dress room, however, took place during the third set. Lammy and the defendant Machi Tabai had left the stage at that point, and the Governors were already rocking. This is when 2 shots rang out at the scene of the crime. Shots heard by Detective Emma Sky, mind you. We're not defending, we're accusing. Laser, that's what happens every case. That's what happens every case. We accuse somebody. We always find the real murderer and then we accuse them. But we're accusing to defend. It's a defense mechanism of accusal. Except for that one time when our guy was the killer. And then we just let ourselves lose.
And Apollo, you heard them too, right?
I sure did. Furthermore, Lammy herself witnessed the moment of the crime. Well, perhaps I should say, she heard the moment of the crime. When she claims to have heard Mr. Lettuce and the Detective Crescent talking.
But that's impossible. Detective Crescent was...
Precisely. Detective Crescent was on stage getting his groove on, no less. Viola. A perfect... voila! I love Viola. A perfect alibi.
Does the defense have anything to add to this?
It's true. When I heard those gunshots, he must have been on stage. Still, there's something here that doesn't quite add up. Yo mama.
It appears the defense has no objections. I believe we can safely say that Diane Crescent's alibi has been acknowledged.
Which means that Lammy was sadly mistaken. Her testimony cannot be true.
Very well. Of course, if we disregard her testimony, then I see no evidence keeping us from declaring a verdict. We will have to, imprison the child. Of course. If indeed there are no objections.
Uh-oh, Apollo! If he declares a verdict now...
No, easy day for me. One trial done and dusted, I can go home and watch my soap operas and play Binding of Isaac.
But Prosecutor Gavin's case is airtight. Lammy might have been lying to protect Machi. How can I rely on her testimony? Wait, what about yesterday in the detention center? About the case? What about the case? We need to talk to that boy. Fuck. Machi was trying to tell us something. I know it. Maybe the best thing to do is ask him. Under oath.
Very well. The court finds the defendant... what was his name again?
Your Honor!
No, that wasn't it. It was something like Marquis, Mr. Justice.
Your Honor, before you declare a verdict, I would like to call another witness. Also, it's Machi. How hard is it to say Machi? It's literally like a dessert in Japan. Like, how do you... What did he say? Markai? Markway? Fucker. Fucker. Exactly. Who else do you need to hear from? A witness who, until now, has not been given a chance to speak in this court. Because he doesn't speak English. You don't mean... I do. The defense calls defendant Machi Tabai to the stand.
What? But he doesn't speak English.
What? Does he... Is his name a pun on anything? Tobai. Tobi? To be? Machi to be or not to be. That is the Machi. We'll use an interpreter. Interpreter, I'm afraid you'll have to look elsewhere. I only speak a few phrases such as I love you and where's the toilet? The defense would like to request Lammy as the interpreter.
Lammy? Well, there's a possibility she's protecting the defendant.
But she'd be interpreting for the defendant. Why would she lie?
This is most unusual.
Bravo, Airforehead. Judge, the prosecution agrees with the defense's request. If Lammy lies, I'll be able to tell. Even my limited knowledge of the language should be enough for that.
Well, if both prosecution and defense are for this, I see little case for refusal.
Finally, some progress.
Bailiff, please show the defendant and Lammy to the witness stand.
Double trouble. I suppose there's a first time for everything. Shall we proceed? Your name, to begin with, if you would. A full proof. Yes. He says Machi Tabai, the defendant.
This is certainly a first for the courtroom.
The pun for his name is Much Tabai. Machi Tobai. I was so caught up on just Machi as a thing in of itself. Machi Tabai. Like death.
Not that we really needed an interpretation of that message in particular.
So far, so good.
Very well, Mr. Justice, if you would.
If I would do what, Hunter?
What? You called the defendant to the stand, did you not? What would you have him testify about?
What do I want him to testify about? I haven't thought that far yet.
Apollo, you really didn't have a plan? Are you going to ask him what he was about to tell us yesterday?
How can I don't know what he was saying.
Excuse me a moment, if I might speak.
Yes, Lemmy?
Just now,
Machi said there's something that he wishes to testify about.
Machi wishes to testify about something?
What could it be?
Maybe what he was gonna tell you? As a guess?
What sort of testimony is he talking about?
One moment, please. The suspense is killing me!
What?
What?
Well, Lemmy?
According to Machi, he has proof of his innocence.
What? And he didn't say anything till now. Well, I guess we can't really... he speaks a different language, poor child. Literally alone, being accused of all this shit, and he can't even defend himself. And his defense attorneys hasn't done anything for him.
Hey, that's kind of true.
But this is a surprise.
Woohoo! Victory, Apollo! We did it!
Sounded too good to believe. And now, what? And I know what that usually means.
Well, if that's true, then this is vital testimony. Lemmy, I mean, Machi, please testify to the court.
Very well. Let's see what the bro has to say.
He says that word of Mr. Lettuce's death came as a great shock. But if the killing truly followed the lyrics of my song, that is, he could not have done it. He says that because the lyrics are in English, he does not understand them.
Fact! Wait, I tried to bring that up earlier and I couldn't.
I see. He wouldn't have understood the English lyrics to the song. That would prevent him from following them so closely.
I wondered what he meant by proof. Why, you'd only have to ask Lammy to know the meaning of that song. Lammy, did you ever explain the lyrics of that song to him?
I did tell him generally what the song was about, but never in so much detail, and he never asked.
Has my oft-repeated warning already fled that forehead? Lammy might be protecting the witness.
Well, anyway, let us proceed with the cross-examination. Mr. Justice, if you would.
Yes, Your Honor. Something's hidden in that testimony, I know it. I just have to trust my bracelet to tell me where. Worked yesterday, it'll work today. Alright. It's just straight up going right into interpreting. Alright, let's see, is her swallowing still the thing? I believe she swallowed like this. But she didn't this time. Alright, this is probably the one. So if we press it, wouldn't it be difficult for him to perform without knowing the meaning of the lyrics?
He did know what the song was about, its mood, shall we say. This was enough to play by. I told him it was a song about her guitar and love.
It's not actually the guitar that's in love, strictly speaking.
Well, perhaps I misunderstood.
No, not really. Yours is also a valid interpretation. Okay.
No, it is my fault. I am, too, used to singing in Virginian. It's much easier than trying to understand these English lyrics. Yay, I knew he was innocent!
I believe he is too, Trucy, I do.
What's wrong, Apollo? You got a tummy ache or something?
Something's hidden in that testimony. If it's the truth, I'll find it. Ha la la, ba ba, ha ba ba, ba ba ba. Alright, let's take a peek here. Oh wait, I didn't even realize it might be on him.
But I don't think he even moves. Oh wait, his eyes! Wait, I could see his eyes.
Ah! I saw that! Machi, you can't fool my eyes. You glanced toward her the very moment Lammy said the word English. Why? Don't bother interpreting that. He understands me. Machi, tell the truth. You can understand English, can't you?
What are you saying? Of course he can't. Must he continue this charade? Mr. Justice Machi says this. I know the word English.
Huh?
Before coming to this country, he heard me speaking English. He learned the name for this language, that's all.
What? Give me a break.
That's such an unusual word to understand. Do you not know Espanol, for instance?
Well, yeah, but...
I'm sorry, but he truly does not understand your language.
Well, then explain this. How does he know the crime followed the lyrics?
You've always been such a suspicious-minded lad.
Well, that's a good question, though.
It's simple, so simple it hardly requires an explanation. You've read about it in the newspaper.
The newspaper?
The Virginian Daily Bugle. You can buy it in this country these days, you know. They have already begun to report about this case in our homeland.
Excuse me. It doesn't actually involve the lyrics. I already know this. So, don't even try to lie about it.
What's wrong, Mr. Justice? Your eyes, they are quite fierce all of a sudden.
Machi's lying. Maybe it's time to show them proof that he's lying.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, Mr. Krabs.
I have here a Virginia newspaper, the Virginian Daily Bugle, as a matter of fact, and you, Machi Tobai, are Spider-Man!
I want pictures of Machi Tobai on my desk by tomorrow morning. Or it's your ass.
Indeed, there's a feature article about the case. Could you read this for me, Machi? That's right, it doesn't mention the lyrics.
What's all this about?
I'm sorry, Machi. You couldn't have read about the lyrics in a Virginian newspaper. Got him!
What does this mean?
But I don't see how it's possible. I know. He must have heard the lyrics when the police were doing their questioning. Yes.
Not possible. The subject of the lyrics was not brought up when police questioning.
I read the full report myself. So, the lyrics weren't in the newspaper and the police didn't mention them. The only place you could have heard them was in this courtroom. In English, no less. You think Damon is doing this because he has a kid who's ill? Well, it was the Supreme Justice's kid, right? I don't know.
The witness will explain himself.
Machi says, he says...
Yes?
It's true I read the newspaper, but this is not where I learned of the lyrics. I was mistaken. Now I remember.
You remember?
He says he had the lyrics from me.
What?
Is this true, Lammy?
Yes, I'm afraid I had forgotten it myself.
And it looks like Air Forehead's been jumping to conclusions again. Seems so, yes.
Oh, no! I was on to something. I know it. I can't let this chance slip away.
Time is an issue today, Mr. Justice. Are you finished with your cross-examination?
What are you gonna do, Apollo? No! Let that child die alone without his favorite judge. We have a business to do. Also, this is apparently an extremely long court case, so I'm sorry you have to sit through it, Judge. Are you ready for me to go over music 7,000 times? I'm ready for that. My bracelet's still reacting. Your Honor, please allow me to continue.
If you must, you must. Very well. Witness?
I understand. It's not gonna be the same thing, is it? They kind of got those, like, FNAF looking eyes a little bit. I don't know. Alright, well, this is the new one. Exactly how much did you explain to Machi? This is a question for me, yes?
This interpretation thing is getting old fast.
I told him that Mr. Lettuce had been killed and why he was a suspect. A suspect. And I told him the crimes of that day followed my song.
Did you mention any particular words of the song relating to the case, such as heart?
Yes, of course, I explained this. He was quite surprised. Yeah, I knew he was innocent.
Yeah, okay, it might be her who's doing it. Is she gulping now? Are you gulping? Hey! Hey!
Gotcha!
You're gulping again, you bitch! Stop gulping! Lammy! I'm currently cross-examining Machi. Why should you be uncertain?
Me, uncertain.
Yes, you swallowed the very moment you told the court it was I who explained. I see there's little
point in trying to hide anything from you.
Lammy, are you indeed protecting someone?
That's not a question, but a simple answer. To tell the truth, I do not believe it myself.
Then allow me to answer for you. Lammy, you're protecting... What? Why do I have to answer that? You're obviously protecting Machi. Lammy, you're protecting Machi. That's why you lied and told us you had to explain how... Why did you make me do that? It's been hammered in that she's trying to protect Machi. That was brought up like 3 times in anticipation. Obviously.
No, she's trying to protect Trucy from the truth.
That's why you lied and told us that you had explained how the crime followed the song. I don't fault you for trying to help, but this is not the way. Machi, I believe you didn't do it. Really, I trust you. But you've lied to us twice, and now you have Lammy lying on your behalf. If this is going to work, you're going to have to trust me too. Your 2 lies cover a simple truth. You understand English. You have to. But does he speak English? Oh, shit. Yeah, he does. Ah! No! Fuck you! I'm cool. I'm a cool Virginian boy. I'm not American.
Witness, is this true? Do you understand English?
Yes, a little only.
Bro, the fit goes crazy.
What?
First he could see, now he can talk. And you did not know about this, Lammy?
No, I did not. It's quite a surprise.
How many secrets is this witness holding?
This is last.
But what about the mystery egg? Machi, could you tell us what really happened?
No shooting, I did no shooting.
So you weren't in the dressing room when I heard those 2 gunshots, correct? Apparently, the answer to that question isn't simple either.
I was in dressing room behind desk. Manager, he on floor.
Which would be after the shooting, right?
Then there's voice.
Voice or voices? Was it you and Emma, Apollo? So when Machi went into the dressing room, Mr. Lettuce had already been shot. Then we came to the door.
Panel high up, I take off, run away, run away.
So it was you that escaped through the air vent? As the prosecution has upheld all along, no less. And you're still... Dude, you're still trying to incarcerate a child who pretended to be blind and also couldn't speak English. The defendant has admitted to being at the scene. Might we take this as a confession? Objection! Shut your bitch ass up! No, he clearly denied that he did it.
I know shooting, manager on floor, already on floor.
Objection!
The victim had already been shot, you say? I find that hard to believe. The defendant understood the song lyrics. He was at the scene of the crime. This can only mean one thing. He is the shooter.
Does the defendant have anything to say to this?
It's clammed up, Apollo.
Then let's ask Mr. Justice. Will you require any further testimony from the witness?
Is that it? Is there nothing else I can testify about? Wait, no, of course there is. Funny little cocoon, funny little cocoon, funny little rainbow egg, funny little funny egg, funny little rainbow egg, funny little funny egg, funny little rainbow egg. I love rainbow egg, funny little rainbow egg, funny funny rainbow egg. I love rainbow egg. Machi, please, tell us the truth for your own sake.
No more speak. Not that to any of you.
So much for your precious trust, dear forehead. Hey, you were the one who didn't believe him. Regardless, this brings us to an impasse.
Does seem that defense and defendant are at odds. I doubt we are likely to learn anything more of value should this continue. I see no other course but to declare a 5-minute recess. The defendant will work things out with the defense will work things out with the defendant, so that we might proceed. I could have done it either way, but...
That took an hour and... Oh, wait, no, it didn't. It took nearly an hour. 7 minutes off an hour, in fact.
Apollo Eustace. Apollo Eustace.
That's justice. You'll learn how to say it if you ever want to get some.
Believe I know shooting.
I said I did believe you. You're the one who said you didn't want to talk to me. Machi claims Mr. Lettuce was already down on the ground when he entered the room.
Maybe it's a trap and he walked right into it? Suddenly I hear revolver close, very close. Then I hear voice.
You heard gunshots?
Yes, is true. I hear revolver, but only sound.
Yep, okay, looks like we were right. It was like a recorded sound or something. Canned revolver sound, my favorite. Wait, you're saying you went into the dressing room? You found Mr. Lettuce already dead and then you heard shots? If that's true...
So, you were at the scene of the crime when you heard those shots?
And you escaped through the air vent.
I know.
And what do you know?
I know if I opening vent, I can leave stage and backstage.
So the vents went both to the stage and the backstage area? Is that what he means?
Hey, he's right, Apollo, look!
Alright, so if he was in the vents, he could have set off the fire in Gavin's guitar. Oh, yeah. But how'd you know it was connected like that?
Wait, I bet his father was the architect that designed the hall or something. I hear this from a magician.
Oh, our baby boy. Magician?
Don't look at me!
A magician, huh? Come on, it's what? Don't just skirt over that. We know who it is.
Well, at least one thing we're clear on. Machi didn't shoot Mr. Lettuce.
Yeah, but what does that leave us with? We're supposed to say he went into that room to find the body, and then he heard shots? That one's not gonna go over well in court.
Apollo, you're his defense. You're supposed to believe whatever he says, even lies. That's what Daddy always told me.
I'll just pretend you misheard him every time. Because I don't think Mr. Wright would say that. Like, yeah, he believed some lies, but he thought they were truths. And then he exposed them. So, what do we do?
You sure you won't testify, Machi? I know talking, no. Well, it was worth a shot.
That cocoon. Of course he's scared. Oh well, I guess we just have to try a different approach.
That's the spirit, Apollo. So what's your plan?
Well, if Machi won't testify about it, we'll have to get someone else to testify.
Someone else?
I think we're out of time. Let's get back in there.
Right!
Court is now back in session. Mr. Justice, have you sorted things out with the defendant?
Yes, Your Honor. We had a good talk.
Very well. So, will he testify?
Your Honor, the defendant will not testify.
What?
Shame. Here I thought this was your big chance to turn the case around. Actually, it is. The defense would like to approach this case from a different angle, Your Honor.
A different angle?
Machi won't testify, and I know who will. You must be talking about either Darian or Valent. Actually, they might want us to grab Valent, but didn't he say he doesn't want to testify? I'd like to cross-examine the witness in this case, Lammy. Oh, never mind. I was completely off base. Never mind. Back to Lammy, okay.
Lammy? Objection!
What are you up to now? I thought we determined yesterday that Lammy's testimony was insubstantial. There's nothing you can... Lammy was taken to the hospital yesterday with injuries.
Well, what happened?
She was assaulted, Your Honor. Assaulted? Someone wanted Lammy dead. Thankfully, she was able to save herself.
What? I've heard no such report.
Prosecutor Gavin, why would anyone be out to kill Lammy? Can you think of a reason?
Well,
think of how she is known in our country. A singer from overseas who doesn't speak English, yes? Yet someone tried to keep her mouth shut. Who could that have been?
you don't think...
I do. It was the same person who shot Mr. Lettuce. The killer was afraid of her, afraid of what she might say. The defense believes that something was hidden in her testimony yesterday. Something that the killer doesn't want getting out. The voice. Get out of here, Fly. Go! Shoot!
So, am I to understand that this is what you are saying? Namely, that there's a nugget of truth in Lammy's testimony? A nugget we have yet to uncover?
Exactly.
If Lammy was attacked, this had serious implications.
Fly! Fuck off! Get out of here! Just go, like, chill on the other side of the room where I can't see you. Why do you have to be over here? Just go over that way.
Very well. There were some vague points in her testimony during today's trial. Yesterday's trial, is that what he said? Yes. Perhaps we do not inquire as deeply as we might have into some. The court will hear Lammy's testimony once more.
Lammy, I must apologize. We must ask you to stand again and speak.
Need not apologize. I know that Machi's innocent. I will do what I can until the court realizes this.
Let's review your testimony from yesterday. You told us you heard 2 gunshots and the shooter's voice through the window. And that voice belonged to Darien Crescent, yes?
That's correct.
At which point I proved she could not be correct. She couldn't have heard any of those things. The small window at the scene was closed and found to be quite soundproof.
Okay, but what if it was coming from outside the window, not inside?
Eh? Does that work?
No, probably not. But if she was outside there, where does that place her? Because if that was coming from the stage, then it could have been coming through the speaker in the room that was blaring fucking shit. Oh, it's so much dumber than that? Oh, okay. It was just so loud I could hear it.
You have nothing to say to that, Mr. Justice?
I don't know exactly what yet, but I do know there's something there.
There is, it seems. Much you do not know.
And yet it is my duty to hear him out. Perhaps the witness would be so kind as to testify more to the court.
Of course, Your Honor. I was on my way from the stage to the backstage exit. That's when I heard them, Mr. Lettuce and the detective. I heard the faint sound of a gunshot and stopped. Then I heard another gunshot. It was the smell of gunpowder. I knew I must tell someone, but I was in a hurry, so I kept moving past the small window.
Pretty much the same as yesterday's testimony.
I'm sorry. I'm not used to speaking much in this language. Perhaps my descriptions are lacking in some way. Yet everything I've said here is the truth.
Then it's my distinct displeasure to say this. What you have said has happened is impossible.
Do I have to repeat myself? Lammy was attacked because of this testimony.
But what, Trucy?
Apollo, you know, for a moment there, you were pretty cool.
Maybe I do better when I don't try to think ahead.
Very well, Mr. Justice. That was pretty cool, I have to admit. Perhaps you can coolly cross-examine the witness? Cauliflower. Cauliflower is disgusting. I hate cauliflower. Broccoli for life. Am I right, gamers? Broccoli mac and cheese. Yes, yes, yes.
Oh, I can't perceive anything. All right. Shabada. You're on your way from the stage to the backstage exit. Okay. Probably gonna have to use the map for this one. Stage to the backstage exit. So, like, from there to, I guess, back this way. Okay. Darien Crescent? I do not know his name at the time. But yes, it was him. The one who took the stand yesterday.
How many times do I need to remind you that's impossible? There's no way you could have heard him.
Because the window at the scene was closed?
No, because he was at the fucking concert with me, playing his guitar.
Of course. Or not, or he doesn't bring that up. Well, if we keep asking the same questions as yesterday, we won't get anywhere. She's right. Maybe there's a different angle I can try. Lammy, do you by any chance remember what they were saying to each other? If so, please tell us. Good, much reflection, but... I was afraid of this. She doesn't remember. I only heard one phrase clearly. A whole phrase? You remember something that was said? When did you say something yesterday? When my memory is clear, I'm afraid to speak. You see, I do not understand what he said. This could be it. The clue we've been waiting for. Well, what did he say? It's the other man speaking, not Mr. Lettuce. The shooter, then. Daryanker said.
Well then, what did he say?
It's over. Press the switch, now. Oh. Oh. Oh, wait. So this must be... She was running through there to get to the tower, I guess, for the magic trick. Because that's when his guitar went up in Fleminu. Up in Fleminu.
Switch! And the shooter said this to the victim, Mr. Lettuce?
I thought it quite strange myself afterward.
It is a mystery. What could it possibly mean? Mr. Justice, care to shed some light on this?
Yeah. I mean, sure, I'd be delighted. It's, well, it's very, very vital. Maybe we could add that lie, or to add that to the testimony? It's not a lie. Well, I hope it's not, because, God, I have evidence for it. Maybe, Apollo? Press the switch. There's only one key that can unlock the mystery of those words.
Oh? Yes, there was nothing at the scene that could be called a switch. Save the lights.
True, there wasn't a switch at the scene. But it just so happens I have a switch right here. Pulls out a Nintendo Switch, which you can play Apollo Justice on right now! Get out of here, Fly. What is wrong with you?
Get out of here!
Go! Shoo! Bro just wants to fucking watch Ace Attorney. Alright, fine.
Certainly does look like a switch, doesn't it?
Problem is, this was found not at the scene of the crime, but on the stage.
The stage?
The concert was being held, yes. This was found hidden there. On the stage.
Are you claiming that the voice Lammy heard was of someone commanding another to press this switch?
It's a possibility.
Objection!
Guys. Wait. She didn't hear... She didn't hear it through this, did she?
She didn't hear it through the receiver, did she? And now she thinks she heard it in the vicinity, but it was on the fucking thing? No, that can't be it. That's too stupid. That can't be the truth.
That she's that stupid that she would think this is real life? No, that can't be real. No, I refuse.
A wear forehead?
Even dumber than that? Okay. Oh, even dumber? Okay. I thought that was pretty dumb, but alright.
Oh, a forehead, I'd call that an impossibility.
Why?
It's hardly necessary for me to remind the club that they out of the concert forum. The stage is quite far from Lammy's dressing room. Not to mention that the Gavernors were in the middle of a concert on said stage. We aren't known for being a quiet band. You could shout all you wanted and not be heard. Detective's voice was so loud, but certainly not a shout. So too have their foreheads' cries of possibility fallen far short of being heard.
Sorry? But he wouldn't have needed to shout.
Excuse me.
You heard what I said, or do you need me to shout it over to you? It would have been quite simple to be heard on the stage from the dressing room. Oh, wait, you like evidence, don't you? How about this? Prosecutor Gavin, perhaps you're familiar with these?
Why, that's... What is it? That looks like a microphone! Oh, is it some kind of newfangled phone they invented while I wasn't looking?
This is a type of transmitter, a communications device. How do you not know what... Okay.
Communications device?
Judge, do you live under a rock? I ran on stage with her in one of these. Isn't that right, Prosecutor Gavin?
Yes, actually. If we're talking between band members, we all had one on.
So you admit that you were wearing one of these? Talking from the backstage to the stage would be simple.
Objection!
True, but wait! Those send out an electronic signal. To avoid interference with audio systems, their range is quite limited. Who is Darian talking to? Well, it seems like he was talking to the detective. But if the detective was already dead, then I don't know. Maybe the magician? But he said it's over. Throw the switch. Maybe he was holding him at gunpoint at that point? I don't know. Because if that was in the middle of the second act and not the third, then that gives us a different timeline. I thought he could have been talking to the kid as well, and the one we found was in his piano. But I don't know. It seemed like he didn't know the kid was there. Or like he came out, the kid came in after he was dead, which I guess, let's see. Nami said it was about 30 feet, right? Look at this cross-section diagram of the concert forum. Exactly. The walk from the stage to the backstage seems far, but the direct distance is less than 30 feet. That can't be. So when Lammy heard...
Sorry, don't know what came over me. So when Lemmy heard the shooter's voice, he could have been talking to someone on stage?
Objection!
You claiming this is the switch in question? Why did it have to be on the stage at that time? It could be placed in a pocket and carried anywhere. Someone could have hid it on the stage after the fact.
Yeah, he's got a point. How do we know where it was when she heard the voice? When the shooter said press the switch?
Well, I guess we don't. An unfortunate situation. I'm afraid that until we know where the switch was, there's little point in debating it. Ugh. I was sure this was the way to go with this. What is this switch anyway? We don't even know the basic fact.
Wait a sec. I do know what the switch is. And if you follow that train of logic to its incredible conclusion, it ends up in proof that completely changes this case. Sup, Apollo? Apollo? We know about this switch, right? We know what it is. Yeah? Well, think of when it was used that day.
Well, it was used during the second trial, giving us a great little timeline of events. Like I said 5 minutes ago.
Think of what happened.
Well, Mr. Justice, if you have no further information to share concerning this switch...
Your Honor.
Yes, Mr. Justice.
I've been remiss in not telling the court this before. I know what this switch is.
Well, it seems the defense is set upon linking this switch to the case. Let's see your evidence of the link. What evidence do you have that explains what this switch is?
Oh, what the switch is?
Prosecutor Gavin, you remember this?
That's... That what? Is it another one of those newfangled phones?
This is an igniter. What phone looks like this?
Igniter? You mean it's like a lighter?
Yes, actually.
I'm saying this switch is a remote.
I am. This is a remote trigger for an igniter.
What?
Look, I'll show you.
Mr. Justice, you will cease and desist from burning down this courtroom.
Sorry, that was a bit more fire than I had expected.
My whiskers are caught on fire.
Prosecutor Gavin, let me repeat myself. This switch is a remote igniter trigger. Doesn't that suggest something to you?
You're talking about what happened to me, aren't you?
Exactly. That night, the night of the concert, there was one unusual burst of flame. When your guitar caught on fire in the middle of your performance.
Wasn't that part of the stage show, though?
Prosecutor Gavin was entirely unaware such a thing had been planned, and the guitar that burned was a valuable keepsake. That's right, he got it in Virginia from Lemmy. He said the sound was amazing before it burned. Of course. Now it's just kind of smokes.
The better the guitar, the brighter it burns. Your forehead.
Yes?
Don't tell me you're trying to tie these two things together. Those being the shooter's voice heard by Lammy, and the guitar suddenly catching on fire.
I am. It's really simple when you think about it. Mr. Lettuce and the shooter were at the scene of the crime. The shooter was wearing a headset. He ordered someone on stage to press the switch. The switch was pressed, and then the guitar caught on fire. Okay. Well, then he can't have been talking to Mr. Lettuce. Unless some of the other bandmates we haven't... could be talking about the magician. Could be talking about the magician. But he would have leeway over the kid because, you know, Lettuce was his agent, I guess.
Well, that does seem to make sense. Though something about it is bugging me. I can't quite put my finger on it.
Really? It seems pretty simple to me.
Objection! Here, forehead, don't destroy what little respect I have for you. I was expecting something a little more sensible. I guess I was wrong. What's all this about, Prosecutor Gavin? His simple story simply makes no sense. Think. That night my guitar caught fire, yes? The cause may have been this indeed. However, the guitar caught fire during the second set.
That's right, of course!
Indeed, yet the shooting happened during the third set. The two are utterly unrelated. Yes, that must have been what was bugging me. The whole premise for this is faulty. See, his story makes no sense.
Are you sure about that?
Mm-hmm. What exactly do you mean, Mr. Justice?
Maybe it's not the premise for my explanation of the switch that's at fault. Maybe it's our premise for the entire case so far.
What premise is this specifically?
I'm glad you asked. I'm saying that maybe the killing didn't take place in the third act.
Objection! What's this? But Detective Emma Skyhood shot and found the body. All this happened in the third act.
Gunshots rang out, and according to his testimony, Machi was in the dressing room at the time.
Where are you going with this, Mr. Justice?
Stay with me, Your Honor. He also told us that in his testimony, namely, the victim had already been shot. We all heard gunshots, but no one saw the shooting.
This is insane.
Just before the shooting took place, the shooter was heard on his headset, telling someone to press the switch. The next moment, Prosecutor Gavin's guitar burst into flame. We know that a remote trigger igniter was inside the guitar. From all these facts, we can draw one conclusion. The crime did not take place during the third act, but during the ballad performance, the second act.
What? Order! 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 But that goes against the evidence.
What does, Your Honor?
The crime was carried out according to the lyrics of the song, yes?
He's right, look! The bullet is supposed to come after the fire.
You're thinking about it in the wrong way.
Huh?
Look, why would the shooter craft the events of today to follow the lyrics anyway? It's an awful lot of trouble to go through, with a little merit for a person doing it.
Well, I'm sure who it was had some reason.
Yes, they did. The reason that made it advantageous to follow the lyrics.
You're saying the order was reversed on purpose? Reversed, Prosecutor Gavin?
If the criminal followed the lyrics strictly, then yes. The shooting would have had to have come after the guitar burst into flame, yet Herr Forehead has raised another possibility. He's claiming that the bullet came not after, but just before the fire. Gonna put it better myself. We were only meant to think that the shooting came after the guitar burst into flame. That was the criminal's objective, to get an alibi. Oops. The crime followed the lyrics to a point, but that was a ruse. Why else would the killer risk discovery by moving the body? That was the final touch to make us think he followed the lyrics the whole way.
Order, order, order! That would explain this most unusual situation.
It does. The killer changed the order of events to create himself an alibi. In other words, the killer was someone who had an alibi for the third set, but not the second.
Attention!
I was hoping it wouldn't come to this, but sadly it has. Let me tell you why your little fairy tale makes no sense at all. Oh, it sounds good, I'll give you that. You've given us a reason why the killer bothered following the lyrics of the song. But I question your logic. For it's flawed from the very beginning. Flawed? Yes, a contradiction, Herr Forehead, one I've pointed out several times, no less. At the time of the crime, the small window at the scene was closed. How could have Lammy heard the voice through it? Oh. I know that you would like to divert our attention from this critical fact, but you're basing your entire line of reasoning on a false premise. Right. So are you. Lammy's testimony is my entire case. It's that voice she heard, the shooter's voice.
What if she couldn't hear it, Apollo?
Look, what do we have? A man saying press the switch? And near the crime scene we have a switch, which acts as a remote trigger for an igniter. And last but not least, Prosecutor Gavin's flaming guitar. Can't all be coincidence. But how do I make it work? That's what I said earlier, but Big Boss said it's worse than that. I brought that up as a point, and then Big Boss says it's dumber than that, so... I see a more direct line of questioning is required. When the crime scene was investigated immediately after the crime, that window was closed. Care to tell us how Lammy heard the voice?
Key point to be sure. Mr. Justice, can you explain this to the court?
Okay, Justice, you've got one thing to prove, and one thing only. Lammy heard a voice. And she heard it during the second set. She had divine hearing. She was somewhere else. When we investigated the scene, the window was closed. The shooter had no reason to close it. Had it been open either. Meaning it was impossible to hear the voice through that window. That's good to hear you making sense again. I don't think that's gonna last very long. For a moment I was afraid you might be Virginian too. As I was saying, Lammy could not hear the voice through that window, so there can only be one explanation. She heard the voice from another location entirely.
What's this?
Oh, you do amuse me so. You know, I thought you and good sense were back on speaking terms. Now I'm afraid you and good sense speak two entirely different languages. Shall I interpret for you, Herr Forehead? Lammy clearly stated she heard the voice through that small window. There's only one small window. Well, she is blind. Are you sure? Think about it. Isn't there another small window at the scene? I don't like where this is going. There is?
Ah, I know that look. He wants us to ask him. Very well, you claim Lammy heard the voice from another location. Mr. Justice, show us where the location was.
Lammy heard the voice from here. I want to say this, but I'm afraid that it's this. I want to say it's the speaker because that's given so much precedence, but is it the fucking vent? No, is it Among Us Imposters sus? Let me try it. No, 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 no. Imposter Among Us. This is where Lammy heard that voice from.
But that's no small window. That's the air vent.
What did she tell us? She said she's a Virginian unfamiliar with our language. It's not a stretch to imagine she called this air vent a small window. Oh, now you've done it. You've gone beyond ridiculous and into ludicrous. I agree. So Lammy was up in the ventilation system listening to a man's voice. That's the only logical explanation, yes.
Logical? I do not think this word means what you think it means, Air Forehead.
Okay, what about it isn't logical?
It hardly merits any saying. Why would Lammy be in the ventilation system? Hiding like a rat. No offense intended to her, of course.
It's for the magic trick. The explanation for that is simple, Prosecutor Gavin. Isn't it, Lammy? You've been listening to our discussion here, yes? Yes. I admit it's had me quite confused since yesterday. Since the small window was closed, why should that mean I could not hear through it? I figured our prosecutor might himself need an interpreter. The problem here is words. Lammy, this small window through which you heard the voice, was it up high on the ceiling of the room, not low on a wall? Yes, it was up on the ceiling.
What? Order! 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 I will have order! Witness, you will clarify this statement to the court.
Oh! Oh no! Ah!
Ugh.
Reminder for everyone who forgot. Her English is her first language, actually. She just isn't native to Virginia. She doesn't remember her time before Virginia. Good point. So why would she not know what an air vent's called? That's, you know what, Big Boss? You make a valid point.
Are you in fact saying that you were up above the ceiling of the room? And that's where you heard the moment of the crime?
Yes, in fact, I was. I'm sorry, I never imagined it would become such an important point. Yeah, well, why the hell were you up there?
I believe it's time for another testimony.
I'm not sure I can't.
May I remind you that this is a murder trial. We will hear your testimony. Tell us why you witnessed the crime from above the ceiling of the room. Please?
Well, looks like I'm on the right track. It was above this. That is a gigantic ear vent. Air vent. You're telling me only a child could be in there? You're insane. They tried to hammer the point that only a baby child could get in there. Bro, she's in there with plenty of room. What the fuck? What the frick? What the fricking frick? Lying? Why even make that a point that only a child could get up in there then? Did you forget women are miniature? But earlier in the game they said her and they said her and Apollo are the same height. They're literally the same size. Yes, I was above the ceiling when I heard the voice. I had heard there was a small window there before. Once in the middle of my performance, I had no time to report what I had heard. As to why I was there, I cannot say. I'm bound to secrecy on this matter. Yeah, Apollo is also miniature.
Well, there, Forehead, I think you may be our culprit then. You were in the event, weren't you?
What?
Bound to secrecy?
In my line of work, one has many obligations to uphold.
But you say you were in the middle of a performance. So, this did happen during the second set?
I did not witness the crime. You must understand. I only know what I heard.
Yes, but you must tell us what you were doing in detail.
That's what the cross-examination is for, yeah, Forehead.
Our mission in this court is to discern the truth. No obligation, no binding pact may hinder that mission. Very well. Mr. Justice, you may begin the cross-examination.
What are you gonna do, Apollo? I don't know, I'll hold her at gunpoint or something. Usually works. I'm gonna find the truth. With guns. She was up above that ceiling for a reason. I just have to get it out of her.
By small window, you mean the air vent?
I only remembered I needed to be careful where I put my hands and feet. I cannot see the light coming through the window, of course.
Stop calling it a window!
The air vent grate could trip you up, certainly.
I was walking very carefully when I heard the gunshots. Startled, I crouched and listened. That's when I heard this voice coming from the room.
Darian's voice.
I heard something terrible had happened, yet...
So without a word, you just let the third set start?
After the curtain closed for the second set, there was still much to do.
You could have prevented this whole misunderstanding if you had told us sooner.
Yes, perhaps I could have.
I see little point in battering the witness. What's done is done.
The mind works differently when one is in the middle of a performance.
Why, I've lost my voice in the middle of a show and kept on singing, completely unaware. Singing without a voice? If only all the contradictions were so obvious. Maybe I could get Lammy to talk. Pressuring her like this doesn't seem to be getting me anywhere. You heard the gunshots during the second set, during your performance. You're quite sure?
Yes. Why would I lie about the time?
Why didn't you tell us about it yesterday?
No one asked me. I thought you all knew. I told you Machi was not the killer. I told you this many times.
Yes, you did. But you never told us why.
I'm sorry. I was unable to speak of it.
Unable or unwilling?
He's not talking, Apollo. What do we do?
Just have to prove it ourselves. As long as she's bound by this pact of silence, she won't talk. But
if I can prove why she was up there, she'll have to admit it. But how are you gonna do that? She was singing on the stage, Apollo. She couldn't have been up above the ceiling, too. Yes, she could. I've got a theory as to why, too. Maybe I've got the evidence to prove it. Alright. I'll just prove it, I guess. Okay. Lammy, truth be told, the reason for your presence above the ceiling is quite clear. Especially when you consider what happened during your performance. What happened? Yes, it's all right here on this video. I can't skip this, can I? Oh, shit. Oh my god! I'm on fire! So she heard the gunshots, crouched to hear the rest of it, and then still made it for the rest of the performance? Is that not a little crazy? A little fantastical? A little gubernatorial? As we can see, Lammy was clearly not on stage for her entire performance. Ah! It saddened me to be so realistic. Lammy is incapable of actually vanishing, let alone teleportation. So the only explanation is that she was hidden from view. And during that time, she moved to the back of the forum. Apollo! What, Trucy? It's not nice to reveal a magician's secrets, and it's against the rules. But I'm a lawyer. I'm not supposed to be nice.
This is all very fascinating. But how is it possible? There's only 20 seconds between when she disappears and reappears. She couldn't have moved that fast. Is something wrong, Prosecutor Gavin?
This was his concert, his show. He knows how the illusion was performed.
Ah!
He's just realizing his own oversight. Let's look at the cross-section of the diagram again. Here we can trace a route through the ceiling. It goes from the stage through to the backside of the rear of the forum. Recall Lammy's testimony from yesterday?
She went from the stage to the backside stage exit. A perfect description of the route above the ceiling.
Lammy knew of this because of her part in the illusion. But she wasn't the only one who knew. What? Just now in the lobby, Machi told me something. He said that? Oh, were you not informed, Prosecutor Gavin? I knew about the Vanishing Act, of course. Yet I had no idea of the route that would be used. Why didn't that magician tell me? Well, magicians only reveal details of their acts on a need-to-know basis. They're the bread and butter of a magician's life, you know. Which is why he's bound Lammy to secrecy. Well, Lammy? I'm impressed, Mr. Attorney. Machi was right about you.
So, what does this mean? Are you saying you used the route above the ceiling?
I did.
Well, that's it. Well, that's that, but I'm still a little confused.
Why's that, Your Honor?
As I said before. Oops.
There's only 20 seconds. It is not a lot of time. I brought that up too.
There's very little time between the time she disappeared and reappeared. 20 seconds tops. How could she do it so fast? Especially if she stopped to hear the shooter's voice.
Facts, Judge, facts!
Facts! Me and the judge are on the same page, bro. We're one and the same. Stupidity and all.
Can the witness explain this to the court?
I cannot.
Very well, Mr. Justice.
Yes?
It's all up to you. Do your thing.
What thing, Your Honor?
You need to explain how Lammy was able to teleport like she did. Or I'm throwing your case out with the bathwater.
You know, people sell that these days. Why do I get picked on? It's Lammy who isn't going along with the program here.
As I've stated before, I'm not at liberty to speak to the illusion that night in detail.
Then you'll just have to tell us what you can. We'll lay your testimony on this. Mr. Justice, it will be your job to wring the truth out of her.
Yes, if you would, please.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Right. I feel like a student before the finals.
Good luck, Apollo.
Do 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 do. By the way, are we to expect that just all of these trials happen on a day that Trucy and, like, Maya, when she was a kid, didn't have school? Like, they're just hanging out with us doing trials for the goofs and gaffs and not at school. Like, trials happen at 10 a.m. on the dot every fucking day. Like, where is your school time? You just taking the day off? Like, oh, I gotta go to a court case. It's like, okay, what are they gonna say? No? You don't think Maya went to school? Maybe she went to, like, Mystic fucking college. True. But I think, did she not mention it? I know Trucy did mention it. Trucy mentioned it a couple streams ago. So we know for a fact that she's going to school. Yeah, I could believe that Maya did it. I could believe that. She was part of the fucking Mystic training, whatever. And I guess, what, Maya was 17 in the first Phoenix, right? So it's not too crazy of an idea that she wouldn't be there anymore. Especially following, like, the trade of spirit tuning. I followed the route exactly as I was instructed.
There's an emergency exit in the backstage where a stagehand waited. From there, one can enter the forum on the opposite side of the stage.
This case is happening in July? Yeah, but the game also released in Japan. Wait. No. Do they get, like... I don't think they get as long a breaks, do they? Actually, now I don't know. But wasn't the first two cases not in July? Like, that's only applicable for one case.
Time was for me to move there in 2 minutes. I was on my way when I heard the voice.
2 minutes? So she was off the stage, like, way earlier than she should have been?
2 minutes, you say? The mystery deepens.
I suppose it's too much to hope that the judge would come up with something.
As does my curiosity. Take it away, Mr. Justice.
Right, Your Honor. All I have to do is find a contradiction between what Lammy is saying and what we can see plainly in the video.
I figured it out already. I'm a magician after all.
Well, tell me.
Not a chance. Come on, Trucy. Come on. We're on a need-to-know basis here. I can't reveal another magician's secrets. Come on.
You're supposed to be on my side here.
meow, 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 meow.
Father attack is instructed, projectile exchange. They're looking at the form of the opposite side of the stage. No longer there in 2 minutes. Hold it! 2 minutes? Yes, it can be done in 1 minute if you're running. Running? In that cramped, dark tunnel above the ceiling? Mr. Attorney, have you forgotten? Dr. Litt, it makes no difference to me. I'd check if they were taking place on the weekend, but I can't be bothered to check the next year for dates. Alright, you know what? Let's just see what comes up if I do this. Hey Google. In the game Apollo Justice, why isn't Trucy in school for most of the cases?
In Apollo Justice, Ace Attorney, Trucy's absence from school is primarily due to the game's plot and character development. Focus on the mystery. The game heavily revolves around the mystery surrounding Trucy's past, her mother, and the magician who raised her. These plot points take precedence, requiring Trucy's active involvement in the investigation.
Now I don't want to go too far in, because they might actually come up later. And you might accidentally fucking spoil something for me, Mr. Google. John Google. Bro literally just said it's a video game. Don't think about it. Bro literally said it's a mystery game. Don't fucking think about it. Okay, facts, Google? Alright, facts? Actually, spitting? That's true, but,
So you're saying that on the night of the concert, you made a trip in 2 minutes?
Yes, though I nearly didn't make it in time. You see, I stopped halfway. It disappears in the video for 20 seconds. But she says she made the trip in 2 minutes? How? If you want my professional opinion, I'll bet the answer's right there in that video.
oh, I don't want to watch the video again. Evidence explaining the discrepancy. Blue Badger number 2. Arises. I had an idea, but so far it's not panning out. I thought for a second that it might have been her brooch that was the key factor here, but her brooch was on her the entire time, so. There's some other deciding factor? I'm guessing she gets off the thing beforehand. The first half? Yeah, but at that point, she disappears. When he pulls her jacket off. That's the 20-second window. She would have had to disappear much earlier. Like, from that point is 20 seconds. Is it there? No, it's gone now. Maybe I was right. Maybe it is the brooch. It's gone. She did actually make the trip, though. Okay. I'll just do it, then. Why not? Hey! Where'd the brooch go? Mamma mia! Lammy, do you happen to remember this Oh my god, I was fucking right! But, alright, explain it for me, Apollo. I don't exactly get it completely. I guess the person who had the brooch wasn't her for that entire time, and then she just went. Maybe she was, like, ghost singing on the side, and then went. It would make more sense for the person who actually went over there to be the fake one. Because then it would be like, oh, she doesn't have the brooch. The fake one's over there. No, the real one has the brooch. But no, the fake one had the brooch, and then the real one didn't have it. I guess it's like a part of her identity, but then she's on the thing without it, so. Oh well. She heard the fucking explanation through an air vent that she called a little window! And she was lying about being able to see. And lying about being able to speak English. And the kid was lying about both those things as well. So I really shouldn't expect that much more.
Ah, the brooch. We saw that yesterday, did we not?
It was found at the scene, Your Honor. You're bringing this up now? Why? I thought we'd already determined when that was dropped. So did I, but we hadn't. Take another look at the video. Oh, look, you can see his guitar lighting up right there. I didn't even notice that. Here you can see she's wearing the brooch.
So she is.
Let's look a bit later. Yeah, I only just noticed that, yes. To be fair, whenever the video comes on, I kind of just look around. Not at the screen because it's like, oh god, I gotta listen to this again. Obviously, I noticed when it burst into flame, but I didn't notice it, like, lighting up as she was singing. What? Yes, the brooch disappeared in that short space of 20 seconds. And it takes a full minute to run from the stage to the backstage. Which means there can only be one explanation. The Lammy we see before the vanishing act and the Lammy we see after are two different people.
What? What?
The brooch was found at the floor of the crime scene. And not just on the floor, but on the floor directly beneath the air vent. Lammy, tell me, did you drop the brooch on your way from the stage to the backstage? At the very moment you witnessed the crime? Yes, I think I did. Wait, what?
Order! Prosecutor Gavin!
From your expression, I gather you had no idea this was the case, Judge? I, of course, knew about it.
What? But you only just figured out she was in the event.
Don't get me wrong, I wasn't hiding it. It just never occurred to me. Then you didn't know, you fucking idiot! The switch and the shooting took place at the same time. So I was right. There was a switch. There was. Just before the stage's tower rose, Lammy was replaced. Yep, there you go. I was right. She had to have been replaced before the tower rose.
While we're on the subject, just who was this replacement Lammy?
Why, the man beneath the illusion, Valen Gramarye. Gramarye? That's quite the illusion. I still don't get one thing. Yes? He still had it. The switch happened before the tower rose, so you weren't on stage. That's right. But this fake Lammy is still singing. And she's pretty good. And still has the brooch. Which you said you dropped in the vent. How'd you get it back again if she didn't have it up there? What is this?
That's true.
Come on, Apollo, it's an easy one. They were just playing a recording.
The Gavin is on some kind of air guitar band, Fräulein.
Oh, you mean I'm wrong?
When we play a show live, we play live, no recordings. Perhaps you can explain, Lammy?
Very well.
She was singing in the air vent? Don't you dare say it. Don't you dare say you were singing in the air vent.
Yes, do tell and add it to your testimony.
I'm sure that air vent has great audio quality. Shut the fucking front door. You were singing?
Yes. Mr. Gavin expressed a dislike for recordings. So I used this.
Ain't no fucking way. From the top. Everyone would have heard that shit instantly. Wait, so you were singing the whole time? Even when you were crawling above the ceiling towards the backstage?
Why should it matter where I sing when everywhere I go is the same darkness?
Audio quality, lady.
But if you were singing while you were walking...
That's right, wouldn't the shooter and the victim have heard? She was singing right over their heads after all.
Well, the speaker would have still been going, but still, it's not a great explanation, and I kind of hate that with every fiber of my being. Are you sure? This is me right now, like, God. Oh, right, I forget, I can't take screenshots. I have to do a manual screenshot. Let me yoink this. You have to be pretty hard of hearing to miss someone singing in the ceiling. Once again, we come back to the state of the scene of the crime. What state?
I know what he means. The old speaker, Apollo.
The speaker? That speaker was blaring at the time of the murder. Right. Yes, we know. We know! Thank you, game! We know about the speaker. Satisfied? That dressing room was fitted with a large speaker playing a direct feed from the stage. At my request, actually. So Lammy singing in the ceiling. Sounded just like Lammy singing over the speaker.
Ingenious! Her voice was hidden by a voice!
Lammy?
I've just remembered something.
You tell!
When I heard the noise, the gunshots, yes, it startled me, so I stopped singing.
What?
I forgot the words I was supposed to sing.
The song stopped?
Thankfully, it was the very beginning of the second verse, so many would not notice.
Forehead. That mixing board I lent you. Where is it? The mixing... Huh?
The machine, Apollo, the one that breaks music into tracks.
Oh, this. I'd completely forgotten about it. Let's take a listen. Okay, so she's track 1. So she's currently running through the air vents, and then she heard the gunshots and stopped. The song does stop there. I mean, barely, but yeah. I think I'd stop a little more if I heard gunshots. Where's track 2? Oh, I don't know. The second track? I don't know, the second one where she stopped singing right there.
It does. I must have missed it.
Look at the lyrics sheet. At the top of the second verse. See where it says, pleasure, pleasure? She just says pleasure. Now listen again. Running through the vents. Boom, boom! Pleasure. Yeah, you didn't have to show it again. You could have just had, like, the green quotation text.
This is evidence indeed. I believe we are guilty of making a terrible mistake.
The crime didn't happen during the third set. It happened during the second, during Lammy's ballad.
If that's true, then no one on stage during the second set could have been the shooter.
Which means Darian Crescend could have done it. He wasn't on stage for the second set. Well, Prosecutor Gavin?
Fascinating. I don't believe I've ever seen a trial turned around quite so thoroughly. Yet one problem remains.
What's that, Prosecutor Gavin?
Air Forehead's theory does have a certain kind of logic to it. Yet it's entirely based upon Lammy's testimony.
Yes, is there a problem with this?
He wasn't playing? No, Laser. The second verse. Not like the second audio track. It's obviously what they were referring to.
Well, it's quite simple, though it pains me to say it. What if she is lying to protect the defendant?
But you have no proof.
What I'm saying is that the truth is yet unclear. Until we hear directly from the man himself.
The man? You don't mean...
Yes. Though he is a friend and a band member, Darian Crescend must take the stand. I see no other way.
And how do we know you're not trying to protect your bandmate? And so-called friend. Now we're at another standstill, aren't we? Second audio track wasn't playing until later, though? That's not what we were talking about. We're not talking about the second audio track. We're talking about the second verse of the song where she stopped singing. Her track was number 1. That's the whole... That was literally a whole... How are you confused on this?
As someone with some perspective on the case...
As a suspect, to be frank.
Finally, the rat's coming out of his hole. Me every morning. I'm ready to catch him. Darian Crescend, get ready for justice.
Well, this is as good a time as any to pause for a brief recess. The prosecution will summon the witness. Have him here and ready by the time we begin.
The last man who needs to be reminded of what his duties are.
Very well, the court is adjourned for a 15-minute recess. I'm gonna go eat my crackers and cheese. Grommet.
To be continued. Yep, well, the audio mixer's been brought up, so I'm guessing it's gonna get very long and not fun. Hooray. Apollo, I can't believe it! It really happened during the second act? And right in the middle of Lammy's performance? The reason why she was in that air vent. And that switch, and the flaming guitar? When you link it all together, that's what you end up with.
I knew you had what it took.
Oh, hey, Wright. Teddy! Mr. Wright! You believed in me? Not really. Huh? I just thought you'd make. I just thought that'd make a cooler entrance than say, hiya. Why do I even bother hoping? Where have you been lately, Daddy? You haven't been coming to the office at all. Sorry about that, Trucy. I'm on a secret mission. Secret? You mean like you're undercover? Like Mr. Lettuce? Only shorter and not as well dressed? Oh no, what have you shot to, Dad? Why would I do a thing like that to you? Anyway, I'm off for a while again. You're leaving? Oh, one thing before I go. What? Good luck. Right.
Is this all you came to say? I think you have things pretty much under control. You'll get Machi to buy off the hook, no doubt. Yeah, but... Well, but you're after that detective, aren't you? Darien Crescent. Won't be easy proving he did it. Especially not under the current court system. The current court system? What did Prosecutor Gavin say during the trial? Your case is based on a fragile assumption. Namely, that our diva divine is telling the truth. But what about all the proof? The brooch and the switch? A piece of jewelry and a lyrical blunder. There are plenty other ways to explain these things. Flaming guitar, too. All because you lack definitive proof of their connection to the case. But... if the sultry songstress is lying, your case melts like butter in a frying pan, leaving behind the faintly singed scent of failure. So what do I do? Like I said, good luck. Be aware that it will be impossible to prove his guilt by conventional methods. Ugh. Oh, that reminds me. I have something to give you from our detective friend. Oh, Detective Sky? Emma? Let's see, this bag of snacks was meant for me. Ah, here it is. What are those, Daddy? They don't look like very good snacking material. They were found at the scene. Analysis of the fragments revealed traces of gunpowder. Gunpowder? Probably a firecracker or something similar, like the ones kids are into these days. These fragments were under the sofa at the scene of the crime, actually. Under the sofa. Hey, Apollo! That's where we found that little device thingy! Ah, it was there to create the gunshot sound effects. I'm sorry, is a firecracker the same as a fucking giant revolver? Is that the same sound effect? I don't think that's the same sound effect. Little firecrackers and the revolver pistol? Oh, I think there would be a little bit of a discerning factor there. Right, this. Well, finally some evidence that makes sense. That's all from me, I suppose. See you after the verdict. Maybe. Right. Are you insinuating I might get incarcerated? I don't know, Apollo, you were at the scene of the crime. Every man has an igniter inside him. Excuse me? Find Darien Crescent's igniter and set it off. Yeah, he walked out the door just like that. Just like a magician. Normally. What does he want us to do? No conventional methods? What does that mean? I guess we just have to take his advice and hope it makes sense when the time comes. How? What? It's been 2 hours? What the fuck? I had to do a double take on that. I guess. We're almost at the finish line. Hang in there, Trucy. Is that true?
Is it true? I don't believe it. It's already 2 p.m. in the game.
Hey, it's 2 p.m. right now, too. It's 2:30, in fact.
Court is now in session. Prosecutor Gavin, where's Detective Crescent?
In the witness lounge, ready to be called at any time.
Very well.
Might I add, I don't believe any of this. Darien was the first detective I ever worked with. We stopped working together when he moved to Criminal Affairs, Division 3. But his guitar playing fires my imagination. That's nice, but it's got nothing to do with the matter at hand. Correct? Oh, I know. I know, Airforehead.
Very well. Call the final witness to the stand. Detective Darien Crescent.
Name and occupation, please.
Darien Crescent, Detective, Criminal Affairs, Division 3.
That's the International Affairs Division for those of you who don't know. And I'm guitarist for the Gaviners. Maybe you heard of us?
You fully understand the circumstances under which you stand before us today.
Yeah, I understand, Your Honor. What I don't understand is how you let this happen, partner. Give me your word I wouldn't be standing here. Situations change, Darien. And don't call me a partner. Fair. So much for old friends.
I see what you're doing, Darian. You're pressing the prosecution. I gotta turn my fan on. Luckily, that beam of light is no longer, blinding me. The sun has moved. I also need some drinky poos. Okay, there we go. It's like, why did it get so loud all of a sudden? That's normal. I always let myself get too dehydrated during these streams. I gotta keep drinking so I can keep yapping. Your Honor, if we could begin the trial.
Yes, it's high time we did. Let's hear your testimony. You may begin with your response to Lammy's testimony. If in fact you have anything to say about it.
Oh, I got plenty to say. Lying must be a national pastime in Virginia. And wherever you're from, Mr. Justice, conventional methods are out the window, huh? Here goes nothing. Are we just gonna have to catch him? Catch him being nervous? Diva's lying, plain and simple. She's got nothing to back up her story. In the first place, she never heard my voice. She forgot the words because she heard gunshots? As if. Didn't Detective Emma Skye hear gunshots during the third set anyway? The shooting took place when I was on stage, man. Yeah, right, bucko.
So you claim Lammy's testimony was a lie?
Hey, don't get me wrong. I dig what she's doing, trying to protect that kid. And she's got the court eating vague statements out of her hand just because she's blind. You go too far, Darian. Look, all I'm saying is, you've got a reliable witness. Why not listen to the detective?
Detective Skye? I see. Mr. Justice, you may begin the cross-examination.
Don't waste any time finding our weak spot. Can't do this without Lammy's testimony alone. Have to find some other way to prove when the shooting took place. Actually, I was there too. So I hear. Which means you heard them too, right? The gunshots. Yeah. We heard gunshots. Neither I nor Emma actually saw the shooting, mind you. Guess you and Lammy got the same excuse then. Well, we know one thing for certain here. There were gunshot-like sounds that emanated from that room during the third set. What we must determine is whether those sounds were actually gunshots. Machi heard them too. Remember he said he ran for the air duct when he heard them. So how do we figure out just what those gunshots during the third set were? We were given them? We have them right now in our pocket?
Objection!
From the detective herself? Some things were found at the crime scene after yesterday's trial.
What things?
First was this small device. It's the remote triggered igniter. Correct. You know, I was thinking earlier, why was there two igniters? And I just, like, let that thought drift off. I didn't really follow it. But yeah, no, this makes sense. Kind of. I don't know. I don't know if these little sparklers could make the same sound as a revolver pistol, but I guess they're not going to explain that. It's just like, yep, it did, so get over it. Correct, and one more thing.
What are those? The remains of something burnt? Not another guitar, I hope.
Pieces of gunpowder were found on these fragments.
We have a report that it was something like a firecracker. How did Gavin know about this? What, you think Detective Sky works for you? I received the report this morning, before coming here. That's when I made my decision, actually.
What decision is this, Prosecutor Gavin?
I registered Darwin. Darwin? Darwin is a witness in today's trial. Just in case. This raises another possibility. Those gunshot-like sounds during the third set. Could have been 2 firecrackers rigged to go off by remote control.
You got an active imagination, don't you?
But you shouldn't say every little thing you think. Your explanation there seems a bit too convenient for me. How so? So you're saying these firecrackers just happened to go off? Right when 2 witnesses came walking by? That's right. Darian was out on the stage when it happened, Apollo. How would he know someone was backstage right then? Firecracker goes off in the forest and there's no one to hear. You get my drift? Why go through the trouble, man? How do I explain this? You may not look it, but Darian is a gifted detective. Show any weaknesses and she's sure to find a weak spot. You may not look it, partner. Gee, thanks, man. That reminds me. I happened to pass through that very hallway several times that day myself. And I saw something odd in there just before the third set. Something odd? A headset, the kind all the band and staff members were wearing. That's right. I picked this up in front of that door of the dressing room. If that headset wasn't dropped but placed, what if it was turned on? You could hear what was going on in that hallway. Even if you were out on stage. Whose side are you on, Gavin? Listen to me, Darian. There are no sides in a court of law. Which is why I now turn to you, Forehead. I've got a question for you. For me. The igniter and the burnt fragments that were found at the scene of the crime. It's certainly a possibility that they were part of a ruse to fake the sound of gunshots. Throw the headset into the hallway into the mix and you could fabricate an alibi. But we're still no closer to proving anything. Those gunshots might have been real or fake, we can't say. You've raised the possibility that the shots were heard, that the shots heard during the third set were faked. Now you need to prove the other half of the case. The other half?
Look, I'll just tell him.
He wants you to prove that the thing went down and, he wants you to prove the thing went down in the second act, while our little piano player was on stage. Isn't that right, Gavin? Indeed, you can't prove that. Then to continue this cross-examination would be pointless.
Well, Mr. Justice, can you prove the crime took place during the second set?
Yeah, I think.
You better know, Apollo, otherwise we're through.
It can be proven. Make it sound like someone else is going to come along and do it for you.
Well, let's continue with the cross-examination then, shall we? Witness your testimony, if you would.
Wait, I thought we had to prove it right now. Okay. I need decisive proof and fast. You ready, kid? 'Cause I am. Oh, I do. Proof?
You want proof? You want proof? Alright, I'll give you proof.
The soundboard, baby? Firecracker. Curitis. Da-da-da.
I don't know. Do I have it? I mean, I would want to say the audio mixer maybe has something to do with that. That's a pretty good piece of evidence. It corroborates with what you saw in the vent. But then he tried to disprove that already. Starts burning in this scene. Right there. Pretty big flash of fire. Alright, fuck it. Objection! No! It's my first failed attempt today. Big Boss, can I do this now, or do I need to press? Can you tell me that? Because if I don't need to press the rest of his testimony, then, I mean, kind of worthless, right? Ooh, it is only 3, but... All the ones I cut from the video. Hey, this is live, alright? This is live, alright, mister. First one today. I haven't lost a bit of my green. How foot of gravity? Well, I don't know. Fine then, I'll figure it out. Stop! I'm not pressing up or down. I'm pressing left and right, you freak. Objection! Nope. Should. Alright, fine. Let me press the rest of the statement. Void. Hold it! You don't have any proof she was lying. Oh yeah, kid. You saying I lied? No, I'm just saying it. I'll glare back at him. I couldn't help it. I flinched by reflex. Detective Cousin. Yeah, what do you want? Nothing. Apollo, chin up. Back straight. You're wilting. This guy's as hard as nails. It makes Walkie look downright cooperative. Look, there's no way that Diva remembers my voice. Hold it! You never talked to her, even though you were playing in the same concert? Not a word, as far as I can recall. But weren't there planning sessions or something? Gavin took care of all that himself. Dorian wasn't involved in any of the meetings with her. As if you just go around remembering everyone's voices like that anyway. Only an idiot would believe that. Mommy's hearing is very sensitive. She could remember him if she heard him. I'm sure of it. I just can't prove it. Also, she didn't know it was you. She just remembered your voice. She didn't know it was your voice. She just heard your voice. Dipshit. I think most people could do that. I need proof. Hold it! You know she missed the words. The mixing board proved it. Oh yeah, there was a mistake. But blaming it on gunshots is just a lame excuse. What do you mean? The mixing board proves what? It proves that there was a mistake in the song, a missed cue. So, she just flubbed it up big time, that's all. She spins this story about the gunshot-rejected kid and cover her for her own goof. Man, I'd have to hand it to her. If she wasn't sticking it to me at the same time. Diane, what would you say? Lammy's an artist. She just flubbed it up. That's no small accusation for a performer of her caliber. She got to you, alright.
It's eating your eyes. I tell you, most of her stuff is so pretentious, it's way over my head. I'm detecting a rift in Gaviner's ranks. Anyway, she's too close to the defendant. The testimony can't be trusted. You asked me, I'd go with Detective Sky's story at the drop of a pick.
Yeah, because you fabricated it. Fucker. Fucker. Alright. So I tried that. I tried the... Let me try the audio mixer, why not? That was my first instinct.
Objection!
Okay, well, there you go. I guess I'll shut my bitch ass up. I could have gone none. I could have gotten none. That was my first instinct. Damn it. Damn you. It seems there was clear proof left behind. Right here in Lammy's song. You know, the tape could have counted as me. The tape could have counted as her song. Just saying. It was a tape of her song. I mean, the audio mixer doesn't hold the song. We can just examine the song on it, but okay, whatever. Whatever you say. Sorry, I'm just tying my hair back. Ow.
What exactly is this device thingy? A new variety of gramophone, perhaps?
I like this running gag. Come on, we just used this, and don't get me started on gramophone. This device was used to record the performance part by part.
Part?
Remove the sliders to adjust the volume. Each instrument is adjustable separately, Lammy's voice included.
Oh! But what does this prove?
According to Lammy's testimony, at the moment of the shooting, she forgot the words to the song.
You intend to examine the recording at that moment, yeah? You might even hear those gunshots.
Exactly.
It's ridiculous.
How are you supposed to hear gunshots back in that dressing room out on stage? Have you forgotten, Diane? We were all wearing these headsets. No. We were all deeply involved in our performance, but Lammy's headset would have picked up on what she heard all the same.
Then let's get analyzing that recording. Right now!
Lammy stopped singing when she heard the shots fired. Find that spot and I'll find the gunshots. Okay. Well, turn all this off. I found it instantly. Present. Your Honor, listen closely to this part. This is the track with Lammy's vocals. Find where we know exactly where it is, and then we win. Hooray! Kapow! There it is. I gotta check if you can hear that in the video. I gotta check if you can actually hear that.
I did faintly hear that, yes. Why, it sounded like a gunshot. This has to be some kind of mistake.
Your dick is maybe, getting a little flaccid there, buddy.
I believe a case has been made. Gunshots were heard during the second set. Which means Lammy's testimony was true.
Order! So, she was telling the truth about what she heard?
Oh my god, we don't need a flashback. Just after that, there was a gunshot, and then the guitar caught on fire.
Detective Crescent, you weren't on stage during the second set. You could have done it.
But why did we only hear one gunshot in the recording? Weren't 2 bullets fired from this weapon?
Lammy was moving through the air vent, Your Honor. She must have been close enough for her mic to catch the first shot. But then, as she passed over the dressing room, the gun fired again, and Mr. Lettuce's life was taken. Well, Detective Crescent,
Ah, once again, I'm reminded of something. Our performance that day.
Your performance?
Seeing the mixing board jogged my memory. You were there too, Air Forehead. Right.
It's fuck up.
Second guitar. Was you, Darian? I thought it strange at the time. How could you miss such a simple cue? I know you. I know how you play. You're better than that.
Yeah, well, I missed it on purpose to give a signal for someone to set off the firecrackers. I mean, You what? Prosecutor Gavin, what are you getting at?
Talking about the murder weapon. Mr. Lettuce's 45 caliber hand cannon. As we've learned, even the shooter doesn't go unscarred with a revolver that size. The kickback's enough to dislocate your shoulder if you're an amateur.
Wait, you mean his plane was affected because he hurt himself during shooting the revolver?
Forgetting something. Yes, Detective Crusade.
I'm a trained police officer, you know.
I've had firearms training, plenty of it. No amateur.
No, the standard sidearm issued to a police officer is a 38 caliber weapon. A much timber blast. Also, the murder weapon belonged to the victim, Mr. Lettuce, which suggests there was a struggle between the killer and the victim.
So the killer might not have been holding the revolver correctly when he fired. Is that what you mean?
The thought had occurred to me, yes.
Well, does the witness have anything to say to this? Detective Crescent!
What I want to ask is what Mr. Sleeves rolled up ready for action has to say.
Hey, you attorney. Me? Exactly what piece of your evidence is decisive again?
You got a little noise on that tape. That could be anything.
And you have an alleged guitar cue miss due to a 45 caliber kickback. I wait for this case, Gavin, I really do. You can line up your little weak piece of evidence all you want. I didn't shoot that manager. And that's the obvious truth.
The witness has a point. The defense's arguments, while persuasive, are not decisive. I believe we should hear what the witness has to say in response to the case so far. Your testimony, please, Detective Crescent. Tell us your reasons why you couldn't have done it.
Alright.
Come on, why would I even want to kill the manager? You want a reason? Easy. I got no motive, man. This was that diva's first trip to this country, right? How could I possibly know her manager? If I didn't know him, why would I want to kill him?
A simple reason indeed. Prosecutor Gavin, is it the case that Mr. Lettuce had not been to our country before?
According to our records, yes. Not even once.
I see. Very well. Mr. Justice, you may begin the cross-examination.
Great, now I need to find a motive.
Her manager, sure, but Mr. Lettuce was...
Oh, right, sorry. An Interpol agent, wasn't he? I just have trouble picturing that big lunk as an undercover cop, you dig? And not a very good one, seeing as how he got wasted.
That's cold, dog.
That's so cold. Not that it matters either way. See, I had no reason to kill the man, whatever he was.
But that's the same for Machi. No motive was proven for him.
Come on, he traveled around the world with that old fart. He had plenty of time to come up with a motive of his own. More than I sure did. I mean, think about it.
Darian, you're a detective with international affairs?
Yeah, what of it?
Even if it was Mr. Lettuce's first trip to this country, you still could have met him prior to the concert. Or don't you take any international trips in international affairs?
Wait, that's right! Well, Detective Crescent, it's your game, is it? Guess I'd better confess then. Confess? It's a bit of an embarrassment, but we were sent overseas.
But you're international.
See, me and Blaine's got a difference of opinion. We don't like each other very much.
My condolences, Airforehead, but he's telling the truth. He's never set foot outside the country. I can guarantee it.
But you can take a boat.
As it turns out, my division has plenty of work to do locally as well.
That's so unfair.
Oops.
So you didn't fraternize with him during the concert at all? You didn't, like, high-five him or drink beers with him?
Fraternize? I don't think we exchanged a single word. As if anyone would want to talk to that old Eastern blockhead. Now the ladies, that's a different matter altogether. So you see.
Are you sure about that?
What? Wipe that look off your face before I do it for you. Listen, you try throwing out one of your wild accusations. I'll throw it back at you so long you'll forget who you're accusing of what. Yeah, Forehead, perhaps it's best if you let your evidence do the talking. Man, what evidence? That's what I want to know.
So you're using this motive question as ammunition, huh? Well, I've got ammunition too. Evidence!
Why would I want to kill the manager? Egg!
Actually, the egg's the only thing I could think of. It is international affairs.
Objection!
Oh, not the egg. Na, 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 na.
Okay.
Okay. Stop going up! Da 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 da. Huh. Okay. If I didn't know him, why would I want to kill him? That Diva's first trip to the country. Strikes closer to home than ever before. First case in country. I don't know. I mean, probably to, maybe to frame, I don't know. Know her manager. If I didn't know him, why would I want to kill him? Let me prove that you knew him then. Wait. Would he have a headset on? He would, wouldn't he? He's a stagehand. I can try, I guess.
Objection!
Oh! Why, yes! Da-da-da. Da-da-da-da. Da-da-da. Nothing on this, right? Yeah. Oh, we can still check this? Oh, God. It's covered up by the... It's covered up by that. Yeah, it's covered up by 5. 5 covers up the gunshot. And it completely covers it, too. Like, entirely. I don't know! Cocoon.
Objection!
It was the egg! It was the fucking egg! You bastard, you bastard! It was the fucking egg, you little slut! You son of a bitch! It was the funny mystery egg! Oh! Wah! Wah! Wah!
Why? Why? Why you do this to me?
Your Honor, take a look at this.
What's that? Looks like candy.
Yeah, it's not. Don't look it, please. Heck on my face. That, you know what's fucked up? The start of his thing is he says the same thing. Can I see it? No, I didn't. But he says the same thing on his first one. It doesn't tell you what you objected with, but there. Why would I even want to kill the manager? He basically says the same thing. Why would it be only on the last one? Not much is added to it. It's like, oh, if I didn't know, why would I kill him? That's basically exactly what he said before. Yeah, it's not. Don't look it, please. Detective Crescent, have you ever seen this?
Looks like a piece of candy.
What it is evidence. Don't look it before you try it. Specifically, this is a replica of a cocoon. It was found among the victim's belongings.
A cocoon? Never seen one that color.
It's a variety only found in the Republic of Virginia. Nowhere else.
Right, but what's an egg replica doing in my courtroom? Surely this has nothing to do with the motive for killing Mr. Lettuce, does it?
It does. Wait, I mean, I think it does.
That's not so confident, man. A cocoon? Or an egg? Is it one of those silky eggs? The kind that you can make, well, silk out of? Sunny side up?
No, not this one. This egg makes a powerful curative.
A curative? For what?
Apparently, it's most effective at treating a disease thought incurable. It's the only medicine of its kind. However, it is illegal to take one of these healing cocoons out of Virginia.
Whatever for? It's such a miracle cure, why not share it with the world?
Yeah, that's what I've been wondering.
We've looked into the matter at length. Apparently, it isn't difficult at all to manufacture the remedy from the cocoon. Yet if you change the process only slightly, you can easily make a large quantity of something else entirely. A deadly poison, in fact.
What?
There was an incident several years ago where some of these were to go out on the black market. It caused quite the commotion in the global community, though the media was kept largely unaware.
Intriguing.
All this has led to a strict ban on cocoons export, one rigidly enforced by Interpol among others.
Interpol.
Right. So the victim, Romain Lettuce, was an Interpol agent. Detective Crescent, you insist on referring to him as a manager. But that is misleading. Romain Lettuce wasn't killed as a manager. He was killed as an undercover agent.
So I was trying to smuggle this gumball into the country? Is that what you're trying to say?
I'm saying that, well, that could well be a motive for murder.
Oh, so I was gonna sell it on the black market. Make myself a pretty penny. Ridiculous. I mean, totally unthinkable.
Unthinkable, you say? Why?
Perhaps it's time for another testimony. About this smuggling of cocoons business.
Well, the egg that we have, that Machi has, we know that he has the real one right now. If he has it, surely we're going to use it on the Chief Justice's kid, right? Save him.
Two hydratos? No problemo.
International Affairs got a memo about these eggs. Damn Easter Bunny. Interpol's all hot and bothered about them. Can't sell them on the black market. Too dangerous. Yeah, cocoon smuggling ain't exactly lucrative anymore. Man, I'm in international affairs. I know the deal. Indeed. Interpol wanted these cocoons bad enough to send Mr. Lettuce undercover. Just think of the craziest things. No way am I gonna risk life and limb just to get my hands on some dirty cocoon money. Not the most noble of statements, but duly noted.
According to reports, these cocoons top Interpol's list. Selling them to an underground organization would be risky.
Very well, you may begin the cross-examination.
It's the only motive I've got. He was up to something, and I'm gonna find out what. What in the butt? What in the butt? Ain't exactly lucrative anymore. But wouldn't scarcity drive up prices?
Yeah, and attention. Every gangster and his brother would want a piece of that action. They'd turn your forehead into Swiss cheese before you could say objection.
Maybe we could get them to cut his hair, too.
Who's on trial here again?
Man, you so obviously know nothing about the market.
That's a bad thing?
You try to mess with me about this stuff.
Which is why you'd know how to find a loophole in the system.
Hey, you can say what you want about me, but back off in international affairs. There ain't no loopholes, okay? What do you think we are, Boy Scouts? Wasn't what I was trying to...
Down, Dime. It's as you say. There are no loopholes, at least in the case of these eggs. International affairs, Interpols, and Virginian customs are all watching.
See? We all know what we're doing. It's not like some yipping little doggies that lap up every word that diva says.
Why, I oughta...
Oughta what? You want some of this?
Chill, both of you. Let's do this cool now.
Screw cool.
I want this guy's head on a stick. God damn, Apollo. Damn! Damn! God damn! To be fair, he is a murderer, so... The replica has to be the key to his motive. There's got to be a way to find out what he was up to. That memo, that's how you knew about the cocoons.
Oh, nice one, nice one. I'm running scared now.
You had to know about the cocoons to plan this.
Just how well known are these eggs? I'm embarrassed to admit it, but I've never heard of them.
Well, Lammy knew about them, though not their use. My reports indicate that there are ongoing efforts to control information about the cocoons. Most people only know that they're illegal to export, that's all.
Then I've got nothing to be embarrassed about after all.
You could say people like me who know about them are a minority, yeah?
That includes everyone in international affairs, man.
Everyone in Interpol, too, for that matter. Yeah, but only 2 of you were there. Kill him. So there are other Interpol agents like Mr. Lettuce?
All over the world, likely. Deep undercover, most of them.
That's why these cocoons are too hot for the black market. You don't want Interpol sniffing through your wares. Most came to the conclusion that... Dangerous? Yeah, Interpol finds you, they arrest you on the spot. Or another marketeer might think you're a part of a sting and take you out himself. Times have changed. Which is why you'd know. Oh, wait. So have I pressed everything then? Yep. 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 Yeah, I did. Okay. Ain't lucrative anymore. Do I have something that can test that? Oh, wait, this one. Objection! Why not choose a less dangerous buyer, then? I would.
How clueless are you? Everyone in the market's dangerous.
The second they found out I was a cop, I could kiss my keister goodbye. Why sell to a black market buyer? How about someone like this?
That article! It's about the Chief Justice's...
The deadly poison can be extracted from the cocoon. Cocoon? But so can a cure. And not a cure for just any disease. A cure for incuritis.
Incuritis? I've heard of that.
You went to visit a victim of the disease this morning!
Ah! Why, that's the disease the Chief Justice's son has! You aren't saying...
Our witness is a detective. He would have contacted the Chief Justice.
You are saying... Chief Justice would never deal in contraband.
Not even to save his own son's life.
Even the deal went through. Why, it'd be an international scandal!
That's Detective Crescen's insurance. If word ever got out, the one on the line would be the Chief Justice.
Detective Crescent, is this true?
First I'm a murderer, now I'm a smuggler. How many crimes are you trying to pin on me?
Distasteful as it is to think about, if the Chief Justice were the buyer, why, a seller couldn't hope for a better deal. A very cowardly seller.
I'm gonna sleeves over there trick you. So I made a deal with Chief Justice. Where's your proof? Well... Oh yeah, and you're forgetting one other important thing. Do tell. Interpol isn't the only ones out there watching this. Virginian Customs barely sleeps. They're so worried about cocoons getting out.
So, were we informed? Let's continue with the cross-examination.
Just how strict is customs check? Way strict. They keep planes on the grounds for hours. I do recall it being a bit extreme. They were even confiscating gumdrops and marshmallows.
Yes, would be hard to distinguish them.
That's right, Gary was in Virginia, wasn't he?
I remember setting off the metal detector several times. I had to practically strip naked to walk through. Here's a travel tip for you. Leave the bling at home, you glamorous fop. No position will get you arrested on the spot and then sentenced to death. That's pretty extreme. Virginia has this rep as an idyllic, laid-back place. Truth is, they're beyond hardcore with security. The Republic of Virginia is a peaceful, pleasant country, so this level of security shows us how truly concerned they are about these cocoons. That's the sitch. There's a way to get cocoons out of there. I'd sure like to know. You're in a position to know quite a bit about smuggling. Yeah, we know a bit for work, sure. But we all get are reports on the failed smuggling ops. Not exactly something you want to go copying. Not copying, taking advice from. Doing the opposite of what they do. But maybe if you want, I can tell you a few of them. Maybe you'll succeed and get rich.
I would be interested in hearing, purely from a legal perspective.
I weep for our judicial system. The replica has to be the key to this motive. There's got to be a way to find out what he was up to. Arrested on the spot and sentenced to death. True. Are we gonna get this guy killed if we find out he was smuggling cocoons? Is he gonna get sentenced to death for real, for real? Wait, the guitar? Actually, there is one way. What? One way to get something out of the country, no checks.
What is it?
You become a prosecutor.
A prosecutor?
Oh, I don't believe it. Believe it, Prosecutor Gavin. What was it that you told me yesterday at your office? It was a beautiful instrument. It was played lovingly for many years. So I'll be footing a woman like Lammy. How did it end up here? I mentioned how much I enjoyed playing it that night, and she made a present of it. So the guitar is from Virginia? That it is. We couldn't carry it on the plane. Changes in air pressure made the humidity ruin the wood. So we vacuum packed it in Lammy's studio. I used a special shipping service available to me for transporting evidence. And they brought it right up to my office for me. Pristine and untouched. Did I get that right, Prosecutor Gavin? Untouched? Quite. The guitar was wrapped in several sheets of vacuum packed. It was wrapped in several sheets and vacuum packed in Virginia. The pack was untouched until the day of the concert. Are you saying that the guitar was... With cocoons this small, it would have been easy to use your guitar as a mule to smuggle a cocoon out of Virginia!
What?
Which reminds me, Prosecutor Gavin. Clavier Daffagooner. That guitar had some work done on it recently, right?
Work?
Good memory, forehead.
Well, you know how guitars have a round hole in the front? It's called the sound hole. Sounding, of course. Right, yep. I remember. Well, they found something attached to the wood just inside the hole. Broken device of some sort.
Igniter!
Exactly. Consider this, if you will. What if the igniter wasn't the only thing that was attached inside your guitar? You mean... It means this, of course. There was a way to get the cocoon out of the country. They could just use Picky Prosecutor Gavin's privileged guitar as a mule. And who better to do that than someone with access? Like a member of the band!
Yeah. Order! Order! Order!
So the igniter was placed in there for a clear reason, it seems. It was a safety precaution!
A precaution?
Air forehead. At last, it all comes together. Every strange thing that happened that day. Care to review? Maestro, the gentle sounds of Lammy's ballad, if you would please.
First, my keys were stolen, a harmless misdemeanor, which forced me to break the lock on my guitar case.
The key was stolen to retrieve the cocoon from the guitar.
I see.
But things didn't go so well. The smuggler wasn't counting on the guitar being wrapped. Only a member of the band could get near the case. Unwrapping the guitar would raise too many suspicions. Then the concert began. Right about this time, a very large problem presented itself to the smuggler.
What's that?
Mr. Lettuce.
Mr. Lettuce, an undercover agent, was onto something. He would have known about the guitar. He'd only have to check the shipping records. So, Mr. Lettuce tried to examine the guitar himself.
If the cocoon were confiscated, then the gig would be up. The only thing left for the smuggler to do was get rid of the whole lot. The guitar burst into flames and the cocoon was lost. And then Mr. Lettuce died.
With Lammy there to witness it.
There's your case.
Brilliant, man. Detective Crescent?
I gotta know. Make all that up on the fly.
For a made-up story, it makes a great deal of sense.
Dorian.
Republic of Virginia. Sorry, man, I haven't been there.
True, you haven't.
Let's see you make up a story for that, kid.
How'd I hide the cocoon in the first place, huh?
I'm actually 23 years old. Or 22. I forget now. I think it was 22. I'm 22. I'm not a kid. You're only 2 years older than me. It's not so hard to imagine. You would help our Virginian accomplice. That's all. That you had an accomplice was clear from the very start. The voice Lammy heard proves it. "'Twas the child? 'Twas indeed the baby boy? Wasn't his piano.
Your co-conspirator was on stage. Well, okay.
Okay, don't give any mystery to it. Okay, all right.
But who was it?
This is at the Coup de Grace. And for once, I know what I'm doing. If I called you a kid laser, it was a joke. There's only one person who could have helped them.
Let's hear what Mr. Justice has to say then. But be warned, with the great accusation comes great responsibility.
Spider-Man! Daily Bugle! Was that actually supposed to be like a little hint as to who it was? There's only one person who meets all the requirements of the accomplice. And that person is the defendant, Machi Tabai.
But Mr. Justice, he's your client! Defense attorney accusing his client, that's a new one.
I assure you, no one is more unhappy about this than I. But I am here to defend him in the murder of Mr. Lettuce. And I stand by my statement earlier, that he is innocent of that particular crime.
Indeed, the defendant is Virginian. He does meet the basic requirements to be an accomplice. But what if it was, in fact, Lammy?
Couldn't have been.
Well, you seem sure of yourself.
The reason is electronic signals, Your Honor.
Electronic signals?
Recall that this remote only works to a range of 30 feet. Beyond that, it's useless.
Yes, that's true.
Now think back to the testimony. When the shooter made his transmission, Lammy was in the air vent, right above the dressing room where the shooter stood. Let's look at the stage diagram. This is the area that the remote could have reached the air vent.
Well, look at this. It seems that Lammy could still have done the deed.
No. When the shooter made that transmission, the stage was slightly different than shown here. It was in the middle of the guitar serenade. Or it was lifted up. A part of the stage was raised. Prosecutor Gavin and Lammy stand in. Prosecutor Gavin and the Lammy stand in. We're in the middle of the tower. They're in the tower, which happens to be 15 feet tall! In other words, the remote couldn't have worked. Well, Detective Crescent, what do you say to that?
Your Honor. Yes, Detective. We see the video where Gavin's guitar burns. Just one more time. No, I don't see why not.
What? Don't tell me he has a way out of this. I think it's because of all the shitty excuses they made in the first half.
Too bad, so sad, punk.
Punk! First your sleeves, then kid, now punk. You're losing rank fast, Apollo.
What exactly were we supposed to see in that video?
Problem isn't in what we see. Correct, Diane? Right, it's what you hear. We are musicians, after all. Well, it's because she wasn't in the point in the song where she heard the gunshots. That was in the second verse.
Sure thing, punk. Let me get your yarn straight first. You're saying I ordered a wee pianist to set off the igniter? Right.
Yeah?
Well, in order to do that, you have to press a switch. Am I right?
Okay.
Take another listen. Pay attention to the piano.
Okay. It's playing?
What seems to be the problem there? The piano sounded just fine.
That's the problem, man. You still don't get it.
How's he supposed to hit the switch if he's playing? You got Miss Diva, the guitar, the bass, the piano, and the drums. The only one with her hands free was the Diva.
Lammy.
According to you, she couldn't have been the accomplice, could she? Your accomplice would have had a hard time helping out. If they couldn't even press the switch.
Yeah, I know. Piano plays non-stop. You couldn't have pressed that switch. I don't know why you bring up the guitar, that's obvious. Their point is that it's playing the entire time throughout that, so... They had to rig something up for it to be pressed in the piano. Or... I don't know, he just played one-handed? Doesn't seem so far-fetched.
Well, Mr. Justice, the piano does seem to be playing when the guitar catches fire. Well, it's okay. We all make mistakes sometimes.
Paolo, were you wrong? I can't be wrong. Everything makes perfect sense. How could it all just...
Strange.
What's strange?
No, it's just... Something's odd about that performance there.
Odd?
Mr. Justice, if Machidabai didn't press that switch, then he could not be the accomplice you claim he is.
But everything points to it. Every fact says he's the accomplice.
Got facts wrong, man. Here's some facts for you. Gavin's guitar's on fire.
The pianist didn't press that switch. In other words, your story's full of holes.
Mr. Justice, let's hear your final opinion on this matter now. Was the defendant Machidabai the accomplice? Your answer will reflect on everything you've said here. Give it some thought.
Well, we obviously gotta listen to it in the funny thing, and we'll probably hear a click or something. The whole case is ruined. I know that. It has to be him. He was the only one who could have helped the smuggler. He had to have pressed that switch. Well, you better find a way to prove it. Ugh. What do I do? What do I do? There has to be something that doesn't fit. Something odd. Something odd. Wait a sec. What? You thought of something? What was Gavin saying just now? Why do we need a flashback for something that literally happened 10 seconds ago?
Have you come up with something, Mr. Justice? May I remind you that everything rests on this. Can you prove Machidabai pressed that switch? Let's hear your final answer. Can you prove that Machidabai pressed the switch?
I can prove it. I don't know if you can call this proof per se, but I can prove it was possible.
And as prosecutor, it falls to me to ask you how to show you... Fuck me. It falls to me to ask you to show us evidence supporting this. Airforehead, you sure about this?
Except, there's no evidence, man. Let's see your evidence, Mr. Justice.
The basis for my claim is music, Your Honor.
Music? What about music?
Let's listen to piano part around the time when the switch was pressed. Right before the guitar burst into flame. There was a off note there. There was an off note. I heard that. I heard that.
So I hear piano being played.
What? Doesn't it sound kind of simple?
Simple?
He was playing with one hand! Gotcha!
I think I know what he's suggesting. I think Machi could have played that part with one hand.
One hand?
He only needed one hand to press that switch. He could play the piano with the other.
What's he, some kind of piano savant?
No, actually, no.
Then what do you know?
Can't play a part like that with one hand. Maybe. I don't know what I'm talking about here. Wait, I know. Hey, Trucy. Yeah, you got some? Mr. Wright, your father, he's a pianist. Could he...
Oh, Daddy? You can play a part like that even if you had 3 hands.
So sorry. So sad for you.
No, not really.
Huh?
That was just the easy way to prove it. There's always the hard way.
Man, how are you gonna prove whether he played it with one hand or two? You can't!
I admit, it will be rather difficult to prove, but it's highly likely he was playing with one hand. I told you, Laser! I got you! I told you!
I got him! Hold it! How do you know that?
The clue is what Prosecutor Gavin described it as sounding. Odd. What sounded odd? I'll bet we can tell by listening to a certain part of the song.
No way. Well, it seems we've come to the moment of truth at last. Let's hear what Mr. Justice has to say for himself. Just the part where that proves the defendant was playing with one hand, right before the guitar burst into flame.
His guitar burst into flame here, right? As the gunshot was happening. What's this one? Is it 3? Dude, that could easily be played with one hand. Bro just woke up. At 3:37 p.m.?
That's the section? I'm afraid I don't hear it. What's your opinion as an artist, Prosecutor Gavin? It's a beautiful song, and the lyrics are outstanding. I'll take that to mean there isn't a problem with this section at all.
Wait, so what was the odd thing he heard? Switch was pressed in the first half of the second verse, right? I know. I just need to find a place to compare that. Oh. Your Honor, if you'll give me one more chance, I think I can find it. Okay, so I'm not looking for the part where... I'm looking for the part where he plays with 2 hands. Oh, cool! I would have been nice to have given that. You told me to look for the other part. Okay. Fuck you, then. Shut the fuck up. Yeah, any other part where he was playing with 2 hands. 4 a.m. Okay. Hey Google, how much time would pass between 4 a.m. and 3:37 p.m.?
1. Convert to 24-hour time. 4 a.m. equals 4 o'clock. 3:37 p.m. equals 15:37. 2. Calculate
11 hours. I don't want you working through. I don't want your answer. I don't want to know the Pythagorean theorem that you got to that answer. I just want to know the answer. It's 11 hours. So you slept for 11 hours? God damn.
That's the section?
Switch was pressed in the first half of the second verse, right? Oh, do you want me to do the second half of the second verse? Oh. You know what's funny, Blushroom? I actually slept in today as well. But I slept into 11. And I went to bed at 1.
That part? At least I don't get killed for it. I guess I'll just do the second half. I feel like it sounds about the same. School starts in 2 days? No! I'm gonna be homeschooled, it's fine. Oh yeah, I guess that would be fine. Fucky, frooky, fricky, frick. Your Honor, just one more chance! One more chance! Guys, 3 is him, right? I'm not crazy. Pretty sure it is. Yeah, I know it doesn't sound like piano because it's fucking... It's not an actual piano. We're listening for proof that the kid played with one hand. And we know he played with one hand in the first half. It's only 2 notes. You can do that with one hand. No, nope. Fuck. That's the piano. God damn it. I thought that I said it 3. Right there. Well, he stops. Okay, bro, I'm gonna fucking come. Also, I don't like how they have it all open, even though you have to turn them all down so you can even hear anything. In the first half, okay, so I'll just do it in the second half then. Later, I just did it! I just tried that! I literally just did that, like 1 second ago. Machi was definitely playing one-handed just before the guitar caught fire. One section of the song proves it. So is this the part that's... Oh, wait. Did I have 4 highlighted? I'm pretty sure I did. Yes? See? The big yellow one is the highlighted one. We've been here for 3 hours in this fucking court case. So is this is the specific one that people hate? Because the other one was easy. It was just like, they basically told you what to do. Take that! That! Okay.
You know, I'm just not even gonna turn it down because I can't really hear what they're fucking yapping about since it's... It doesn't matter about the first section, it's in the second section. Because that's when, the fire in his guitar lit. But it doesn't make sense. Wouldn't it still be in the same spot where his guitar caught fire? Why do I have to pick something else? The gunshot one also threw some people off. Well, be glad that I got that right away, instantly. I figured that out instantaneously. The only one I've lost on is this one. That sounds like he's playing with 2 here. Oh, great, great. I just... Why was it the first one? I tried the third one before and it didn't work! What? It would go to show you would go back to using 2 hands afterwards. But no, you wanted me to show beforehand. Shut the front door. Shut the front door. He would have went back to 2 hands after he did the deed. That's what I was waiting for, and that's what I got. Ugh. It's because he was like, oh, we know that's when he was playing one-handed. If we can prove how good he is with 2 hands, then we have our proof. That's what I thought. That's why I picked number 3 earlier. And then it didn't give anything. I mean... Yeah, but you didn't really... I mean... Did you really know what you're asking? Does that mean he doesn't go back to using 2 hands for the rest of the song? He only did it in the first part? Oh well. Prosecutor Gavin, I'm sure you've realized by now just what it was that sounded odd to you. So I'm sure you've realized it yourself here, Forehead.
Realized what?
I'll demonstrate. Let's listen to the part in question again, shall we? Pay particular attention to the "but a fleeting melody" phrase. Very slight, very, very low effort.
Man. How many times do we have to listen to the same thing?
You're right, enough of that. Let's listen to another section, shall we?
Another section?
The guitar burst into flame at the end of the second verse. Let's listen to the same spot, but in the first verse. Pay attention to the "Oh, that night in your embrace." Definitely seems as though he's using 2 hands. He's using 2 hands to jork it, you know?
Play verse 2 again.
Don't play it anymore! I don't want to hear it! We already heard it! We don't need to hear it again! You can just say that and not play it. Holy fuck. This is the ultimate time waste.
Feel the same, true. But they're clearly very different.
Well put, Your Honor. The phrase in verse 2 is quite simple, but the same phrase in verse 1 has high and low notes. You'd have to use 2 hands to play that for sure.
What's that prove?
I would think you'd know by now.
Why are you dealing with amateurs, man? There's 2 verses at different arrangements. Happens all the time. Not this time, Diane.
There's no good point in changing an arrangement if you can't hear it clearly. And that wasn't the point. I had him play specifically so that the piano would stay in the background. That was what I noticed. Why should the same phrase sound slightly different? I asked myself. Ask yourselves why Machi changed how he played, and there's only one answer. He needed a free hand in order to press the switch. Is that penultimate? Are we done?
Order, order, order! I believe this ties all the facts together. Well, Prosecutor Gavin.
Yes, quite. Though personally, this comes as a terrible disappointment.
What? No comeback? I can't believe it. I finally did it. I shut him up.
Very well. Barring an injection from the prosecution, I'll now state the court's opinion on this matter.
Good show, Sleeves. No, great show. It's not over. I don't like it when he looks so happy.
You tell him, Gavin. Tell him what's so disappointing.
Personally, I'm terribly disappointed. In you, Air Forehead.
What? Me?
Yes, don't get me wrong, your case is solid. The facts all check out, but even now, you have yet to show us a single piece of decisive evidence.
Ah. Decisive evidence? Can't we just go on baseless rumors? Is that so much to ask? Yeah, but the facts, anyone can see it was him.
Unfortunately, anyone does not include the law. I'm afraid your case doesn't cut it.
But
1,000 facts might point to the same conclusion, but without decisive evidence, it's not proof. That's the rule under our current legal system.
oh, poor Phoenix Wright. That's what he was yapping about. We gotta do this unconventionally, baby. I don't believe it!
Well, it does not seem as though the defense has any more evidence to present. Oh, I think if he did, we would have already seen it a long ways back. Which is unfortunate, but at present, this court is unable to acknowledge your accusation.
What? The truth is staring us all right in the face! Why can't they see it? What's the point of a legal system that protects criminals? Paul, remember what Daddy said? It won't be easy proving he did it. Especially not under the current court system. What do I do? Like I said, good luck. Be aware that it will be impossible to prove his guilt by conventional methods. Every man has an igniter inside him. Find Darien Crescent's igniter and set it off. Okay. I'll suck his cock. I wonder what he meant by every man's igniter. I think he just meant a weak spot, no? The kind of thing that a single spark could turn into a wildfire of emotion. Be able to press him further by conventional means. I've gotta find a weak spot in this guy. Something fatal.
So can I get back to work now or what? It may look like I got a lot of time on my hands, but I got no more time to play pretend with this deadweight attorney. Well, Mr. Justice, we've come this far without decisive evidence. This witness won't be coming back to the stand once we let him go.
Every man has an igniter. Can you say the better the guitar, the brighter it burns, Prosecutor Gavin?
Ah, yes, good guitars are kept dry, is why. That provides the best sound.
Even a small spark. A small spark? Small spark? Even a small spark could cause irreparable damage. Your plan has an igniter in it too, Detective. It was there from the very beginning. What? Fighting time, Justice. If you blow this one, it'll be out of your hands for good. Go for it, Apollo!
What? And this igniter's supposed to come burn me up? That's almost poetic there, Mr. Attorney.
All the better, I'm rather fond of poetry. And I intend to hear this one through to the very end. Air Forehead, you are accusing this man, Darien Crescent, of 2 crimes. The murder of Mr. Lettuce and the smuggling of Virginian cocoon. This is your last chance to prove your case.
This trial has already run on for far too long. Mr. Justice, this will be my last warning. The moment this igniter of yours turns out to be a dud is the moment this cross-examination ends. Understood?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then, let's have it. Show us the basis for these accusations against Darien Crescent.
Alright, this really is my last chance. The key that will take apart Darien Crescent's plan is...
Machi?
Maybe? I don't actually know. So, maybe. Your igniter isn't a piece of evidence. So what is? It's true that I couldn't show decisive evidence, but perhaps what if I needed to prove my case was something else?
You mean a witness?
Proving his guilt is a tall order, but I've got just the person to do it.
Very well, Mr. Justice. Who's this person who can prove Darian Crescen's guilt?
Our boy? The one person who can prove Darian Crescen's guilt as the defendant, Machi Tobai.
Your client again?
Machi Tobai was an accomplice to the cocoon smuggling plot. Without him, Darian Crescent could not have gotten the cocoon. Furthermore, he can easily prove that the one who plotted to smuggle that cocoon is the real criminal in this case.
How so?
It would require just one of the very cocoons that Mr. Lettuce was looking for. With the cooperation of the Republic of Virginia, we could burn a cocoon. The burnt cocoon would leave a particular residue. A residue which would no doubt also be found inside the burnt-out guitar.
Ah, very scientific of you.
Thus, if Machi Tobai acknowledges this agreement with Darian Crescent concerning the attempted smuggling of the Virginian cocoon, the case is solved. Darian's laughing again.
Your unrelenting passion's remarkable. You really want to get me, don't you? Too bad you'll never be able to.
Why not?
The little key tickler won't acknowledge anything. Especially not anything to do with cocoon smuggling. What's all that about?
Taking a cocoon out of the country means death. By Virginian law.
Yeah, see? Our penis really was a smuggler. And testifying about it would be suicide. Believe me, he's not talking.
Oh, but you're wrong, Detective Crescent.
What?
It's the other way around. If Machi doesn't admit to smuggling here, he's in deep trouble.
How?
Look, if Machi admits to smuggling here, he'll be tried in our courts by our laws. You don't get the death penalty for smuggling in our country. The victim in this case was an undercover Interpol agent. I'm sure the news has already reached Virginia.
They'll likely broadcast our dealings in court today. Including the part about the Virginian cocoon. Yeah, but...
Your wiener's getting flaccid again, bro. But if Machi doesn't admit to smuggling now, he'll eventually be picked up by the Virginian police. And it's not like he's in any danger in our court. We're not gonna find him guilty of murder here. No, not now.
Yeah, but you can't do this. You can't accuse me.
Maybe the law doesn't allow it, but who's gonna think you're really innocent after hearing this trial? The same goes for Machi Tobai. The cocoon smuggling, your entire plan. Machi Tobai knows everything. There's only one way out of it for him. And that's to acknowledge his own crime. The crime of cocoon smuggling.
Don't worry there. I'll get it. I'll get you out of the country. I'll set you up someplace. A hidden mansion, real nice. You want a house made out of cookies? Oh no, a house made out of pianos? Come on.
I mean, way to admit your own guilt right there.
Please! Don't
Don't. Got him.
Darian, I consider that my last session with you. We rocked.
I'm guessing we can treat that outburst as a confession. Uh-oh, he's laughing again. There's a kind of a sick desperation in it now, though.
Well, Have you been listening to today's trial?
Yes.
And you'll talk. You tell this court everything.
I didn't want it to turn out this way. But I'm not the kind of lawyer that can overlook a crime.
Today's trial was all for your benefit, you know. I see no reason why you should hesitate now.
I knew from beginning, I knew.
Machi.
Situation. I cannot explain, but money I needed. Very much money.
He's got much to buy.
Today's trial raises a delicate issue with our legal system. The only thing definite in a court of law is evidence. This is the golden rule. However, it's become apparent that not all things can be tried by this standard. Should another case of this sort surface, we may have to consider an alternate system
By which to administer justice. Phoenix Wright for getting your goddamn badge back, you son of a bitch. You thought the lawyer game had thrown you out, but we're pulling you back in.
Anyway, Mr. Machi Tabai,
Yes?
I promise you will receive a fair trial by the laws of our country. And with regards to the gun charges for the murder of Mr. Lettuce, this court is prepared to announce a verdict.
Aww.
I thank you. I only lie, but you see truth. You find truth.
That's our job. Very well. This court finds the defendant Machi Tabai
Not guilty! Hooray! Yippee!
Yeah, 4-hour court case. 3.5. Damn. Alright, well, you know what? We didn't spend too long on the music stuff. We got a little caught up on the second one, but it wasn't that bad. I think the worst part of it is definitely the first half of the case, actually. I'd say the circus case was worse for the actual problems that were there. Gameplay-wise, the investigation was really rough. The actual court case was too long. The music stuff was, I mean, fine. I figured it out, so. Thought there was more with the video. Yeah, it sounded like you remembered it worse than it actually was. You know, that happens.
Court is adjourned.
July 10th, 4:42 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2.
I wonder what'll happen to Machi.
Well, he did smuggle a cocoon out of Virginia. I guess there'll be another trial here. But he is like 14 years old, you guys. Like, what if he kind of like just a slap on the wrist? All's well that ends well.
Daddy! Are you both my thanks?
Lammy?
Am I something wrong?
I'm sorry, Machi was your partner on stage, your friend.
Yes, I thought of him as my own son. Even now I do, yet something got hold of him, something evil. I see that. He must pay for what he's done. Is that not how it should be?
I'm still sorry.
Do not be sorry. You've given me courage.
Courage?
I'm considering an eye operation.
That was my suggestion, actually.
You mean, you'll be able to see again? It's funny, I've always been afraid of the light. Light seems so harsh, so unforgiving.
According to the doctor, Lammy lost her sight due to some kind of accident. An accident?
As you know, I suffer from amnesia. I feared that if I could see, perhaps it would open my eyes to the truth that I've been running from. I was scared.
You know what changed your mind? Hearing your defense in there today. She could feel your gaze, unwavering, always looking straight at the truth.
If the light returns to my eyes, I think I'll take up painting.
Painting?
That's right, she's the landscape painter in sound after all. I'll paint the two of you, I promise.
Woohoo! I can't wait, Lammy! I owe my thanks too, Apollo. Thanks, Mr. Wright, but for what? It reminded me I need to hurry things along. What are you planning, mister? What are you planning? What are you planning in this next trial, huh? On my secret mission, that is. Right, your secret mission.
Apollo, Trucy, I hope that we will meet again someday soon. Ha! You bet! Me too!
And so, like a ballad, the trial flowed on until it came to an end. Oh, you're right, it did go on and on and on and on and on and on. It's over now. His secret mission is to forge more evidence. He's preparing our last trial to be just perfect for us, so we have to present one piece of evidence and we win. I can't wait. I can't wait! Thanks to the trial, the guitar serenade was a huge hit. Prosecutor Gavin's even more dazzling to look at now. But there's something I wanted to say to that guy. Next time you write a ballad, have them catch the killer in the end. And... oh... Turnabout Serenade. Alright! Oops. Smack the mic a little bit. We're not gonna go too far into the next episode, but we will start it. Turnabout Succession. And that is the whole truth of this case. Mason system. Whoa. Heart rate. Flatline? Ah. In order to understand it myself, I had to know the story these last 7 long years. Oh, yep, finally. Nothing happens by chance. All is connected. This is gonna be a wild ride. Oh boy. Is that a flintlock pistol? Whoa. Okay. And now, you stand ready to begin the final chapter of this story. Did the court case 7 years ago have to do with her mom? And her dad? And why Phoenix took her in? Will the defendant be found guilty or innocent? The decision is yours. Oh god. It's him! Johnny Depp! From Pirates of the Caribbean. Oh boy. Okay, well it's definitely got to do with Trucy's missing dad. Okay.
Hey, Apollo! Look on TV! Look, look!
Yeah, I'm kind of busy.
Whoa, look at that! He's the last Grammy, alright? Amazing! Apollo, you should be watching this.
Ow, ow! God, what? I was writing about our last case in my journal.
You're just supposed to write things in records, Apollo, not journals. Why now? The case was 3 months ago.
Yeah, it's a long story. I did a lot, you know. I want to vacuum pack the feel of the moment for later. Right now, I'm wowing the crowd by figuring out how Lammy disappeared.
That's right, Uncle Valent did that illusion too. But you're missing him on TV right now.
I was just getting to the good part. Just I should watch a little TV with her. After all, her father's expecting me to look after her while he's away. What you're seeing now... What you're now seeing is a rehearsal for the greatest magic show on Earth. Happening right here at our very own Sunshine Coliseum. Really? The Coliseum again? Sunshine Coliseum? Hey, that's where Gaviner's concert was. Only 3 more days until miracles happen here, right before your unbelieving eyes. The legendary troupe Gramarye is performing for the first time in 7 years. What? What? Huh?
This is gonna be great. I'm so there.
Trucy, you know what that means?
You and Daddy are coming too.
Why are you so nonchalant about that? Your dad's gonna be back? Your OG dad? Like, what the fuck? What the hell? We know that lady gets fucking shot because of that image. Trixie's father were really still alive. Be on that stage for... Okay. Alright, that's what I was thinking. Then what are they say? What are they talking about? They're gonna be back together. Can't be back together if one's fucking dead. I guess the rest of them, but wasn't it always only 3? Am I mistaken here?
I've got tickets and everything. Here's yours, Apollo.
Tickets to the premiere showing A Grand Illusion by the magician Valiant Gramarye. Ah, you were here. Working hard or hardly working? I knew it was you. Hey, how you been?
Hi there, stranger.
Not exactly the kind of greeting I'd want to hear from my own kid. Though he has been gone for a long time. How goes it, Trucy? Here, I got a present for you.
Yay, pudding! I love pudding. Ooh, it's farm fresh. And not just one pudding, but 3 whole cups. I'll have to pace myself.
I'm beat.
That's right, Daddy. You're on a top secret mission. You gotta take it easy with the secrets, you know.
How right you are. So you still can't tell us about what your mission is? Maybe it is time. It has something to do with you, anyway. With me?
Ooh, maybe you're getting a top secret mission too. Maybe you can be one of those guys. A spy.
Can I just be a defense attorney? To be honest, telling you about the mission was my whole reason for coming here today. What? Tell me, you've heard of the juris system, yeah?
The juris system?
That's right, the new legal system everyone's talking about.
Have you heard of it, Apollo?
Huh? Oh, maybe? Well, I hope you would have. It's your job to know the fucking law, dude. You're my ace attorney. Maybe not as many people are talking about it as I thought. The juris system, huh? Alright, well, I think we'll leave it there. 4-hour stream, there you go. Bada bing, bada boom. I don't want to get too far because we kind of wrapped up that other case all in one. So I'd like to start this case off with a full stream of its own to kind of get into the weeds. But yeah. I'm not sure if we're going to do a double stream today. If we are, I'll be back in an hour or two. And if we're not, I'll see you tomorrow, okay? And we're definitely doing a double stream tomorrow. You can count on that. Okay, everybody, thank you for tuning in. I will see you later. Goodbye. I hope you all enjoyed. That wasn't too bad. That was not too bad. I definitely prefer being stuck in court than just investigating the entire time. But yes. Thank you, Blusher and Big Boss Laser, everybody for tuning in. AFK, Foolproof. Appreciate you all. Love you all. I'll see you later. I can't tell you whether it'll be today or tomorrow, but... hey, I'll see you when I see you. Bye, everybody.